They brought us to this country as a labor force. We built a foundation and they hate us for it. They hate us for it. We built a foundation and they ain't pay us for it. They ain't pay us for it, but they gon' pay for it. Already prayed for it. Non-believers didn't pray for us. Non-believers didn't pray for us. We're black and we built a foundation. Stone by stone, generation to generation. Vultures said we had no culture. Them vultures got a Jay-Z poster. Them vultures got a lazy culture. Vultures eat what they didn't kill. Vultures sleep what they didn't build. They brought us to this country as a labor force. We built a foundation and they hate us for it. We built a foundation and they ain't pay us for it. They ain't pay for it, but they gon' pay for it. Already paid for it. Nobody prayed for it. Nobody doesn't pray for us. Nobody doesn't pray for us. We're black and we built a foundation. Stone by stone, generation to generation. Vultures said we had no culture. And vultures got a Jay-Z poster. Them vultures got a lazy poster.
Is, again, it's the most dominant culture that's ever existed. It created rock and roll, soul music, country music, you know, half the food we eat, most of what we do in this country that makes us American is black people created it. Right. And so I think when our people come from other countries, they need to give that some respect. They need to treat that with respect. But also, I wish American blacks could get the chance to learn what colonialism did to Africa. Because it's not like African people didn't suffer. And I think there's a sense that African people sold us away and forgot about us. But they forget those people were destroyed. You know, as Michael Harriot said when we had him on for our Black History special, if black people were selling other black people, why did you need a fort? If this was a transaction that was mutual and the kings of Africa were just selling off black, well, then why did you need to build giant forts? You build giant forts because you were having wars with those kings who you were stealing their people. You wouldn't need a fort if you were selling and buying.
And that's something that people like, that's the information that gets passed out.
Family, don't forget, man, we got 8 days left for the Kickstarter. This brother is getting more support than ever. He's on everything. Explain to you? I would love to do that, Kiki. All right, since you don't know, since you're pretending not to know, I think you know, but if you want to hop on in, I can explain it to you. I think you know. Just somebody in here throwing shit on the wall to see what sticks. Yeah, I sent you a request and you didn't take it, so that means you know. Oh, that means you already know. All right. So, fam, we're gonna have a deep conversation. Let's. Yeah, she's trolling. The conversation, the prompt, man, the subject tonight. We're talking about, were black people stolen from Africa? We got Kiki here. What's up, Kiki? Hello, Kiki. Hello, Kiki. Are you not going to say nothing? You're just going to hop on and not say nothing? Is this Rohan? Okay. All right. Somebody just sitting here playing and ain't saying nothing. All right. Got that person out of here. All right. Kiki is blocked. It's probably that musty tether Rohan. But family, what we're talking about were black people stolen from Africa. Now, what made me want to do this topic, your girl Joy Reid, who is Congolese, yeah, she's Congolese and Ugandan. She's mixed with a couple of things from what I understand. So she was on that show, 154 Africa. She was on there. They had her on there. And they were talking about the topic of Africans selling black people in Africa. And notice whenever that topic comes up, there's a lot of splaining. Congo and Guyana, got it, okay. Yeah, they do this whole thing. I want y'all to hear the explanation. We're gonna have to get real. Can we get real tonight? We're gonna have to talk real because yeah, I'm tired of all of this splaining and oh, we didn't know that. Man, okay, listen to her explanation, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to how she described what happened in Africa as far as Africans selling people. Fair use. Hold on.
16th century, and they're all false. They're not real, but they took away the thing that most humans organize themselves by, which is tribe. And that is gone in America. You're just white or you're black. And black American culture is, again, it's the most dominant culture that's ever.
Yeah, because we're not tribal. Foundational black American culture is dominant because we're not tribal. That's what makes us phenomenal.
Existed. It created rock and roll, soul music, country music, you know, half the food we eat, most of what we do in this country that makes us American is black people created it. And so I think when our people come from other countries, they need to give that some respect. They need to treat that with respect. But also I wish American blacks could get the chance to learn what colonialism did to Africa. Because it's not like African people didn't suffer. And I think there's a sense that African people sold us away and forgot about it.
Yeah, that's kind of what happened. Yeah, the tree of forgetfulness. Yeah, they literally made some of us walk around the tree of forgetfulness to forget what happened. Okay, yeah.
But they forget those people were destroyed. You know, as Michael Harriot said when we had him on for our Black History special, if black people were selling other black people, why did you need a fort? If this was a transaction that was mutual and the kings of Africa were just selling off black, well, then why did you need to build giant forts? You build giant forts because you were having wars with those kings who you were stealing their people. You wouldn't need a fort if you were selling and buying.
And that's something that people like, that's the information that gets passed out.
Oh, okay, what is, okay. Yeah, that right there, I'm like, oh, hold on. What kind of bullshit ass family? Hold on, let me get my phone in my mouth. What kind of bullshit excuse is that? Why did they build forts? Huh? No. See, family history is important, ladies and gentlemen. History is important. Oh, we're not going to let people rewrite history now. See, now people want to try to rewrite history. We're not going to do that. Let's tell the truth. Can we tell the truth, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, can we tell the truth about these forts? Listen, those forts over there, they didn't force those forts. They sat there. It took them decades to build some of them damn forts. It wasn't like they just sprung up overnight and shot. Ooh, what is this shit? A fort? No, they were complicit with it. No, they were complicit with those forts getting built over there. They didn't build them shits overnight. Come on now, man, come on, let's tell the truth. They were talking, she's making it seem like they built the forts against the will of the people and they were going to war with the African tribes. The European powers were going to war with the African tribes. How many of y'all been to some of them forts over there? Let me talk to the family real quick. How many of you guys went to Elmina Castle, Cape Coast Castle, Goree Island Castle? I was just in Goree Island a couple of months ago. Y'all been there? Y'all notice the cannons there. Some of those, well, damn near all of them, they have cannons at those forts. The cannons are facing outward to the sea. The cannons are not faced inward to the African tribes and the African nation. All right? The cannons are faced towards the sea. They got heavy artillery pointed outward towards the Atlantic Ocean, and that's to defend against rival European naval powers, the Dutch, the British, the French, all that. They fought each other over who's going to go over there and reap the benefits of people selling, folks. All the cannons weren't inland. Understand, they had land leases. The European powers would pay tributes to some of those African chiefs. You understand? They had to pay rent. Those European trading companies, they had to negotiate leases with these African rulers over there. They had to pay rent and customs, tax, tribute for the right to remain over there and conduct business on African soil. Yo, come on now. No, we're not going to have people rewrite no damn history. Oh, we're not going to rewrite history. Also, the inland part of the interior of Africa, the white supremacists couldn't go in there. They called that the white man's grave. See, before they could use quinine and all that stuff in the 19th century to treat malaria, the white supremacists would go up there and try to go into the interior of Africa, and they would just, croak. They'd become unalive just because of the diseases and all that stuff. They didn't have an immunity to go up in there like that. So they lacked the biological immunity to go inside the interior of Africa to get people and march them to the coast. So yeah, those were other tribes over there getting people from the interior, getting people from different places, bringing them to the coast. And a lot of those kingdoms over there, the Dahomey, Oyo, Ashanti Empire, the slave trade was highly regulated by them. European merchants, they weren't allowed to kidnap local people. Do you know that? Let's be real. Some of those African kingdoms would not allow the Europeans to go kidnap folks. They were like, no. If you want them, you got to go through me. You got to pay me first. Don't go get them by your damn self. No, don't you dare go get them. You got to go through me to give me my money first. Then I'll give them to you. Let's tell the real deal about this stuff. They're not going to sit here. Oh, y'all don't know this stuff. No. They're not going to sit here and act like, oh, they stole my brother. They stole my brother. No. We're not doing that. Oh, they were regulating the hell out of that. They would not allow a lot of them Europeans to go in there and get people by themselves. Man, oh, you better stop. Do you really think these Europeans just ran up in there with a net and just start grabbing people? Can we be real?
No.
You really thought they just came in there, snuck up in the middle of the night and start grabbing people? No.
Oh my God.
They were complicit like a mug over there. Dude, when I was just over there in Umgori, they were telling me, hell, it was some of the local people who was guarding the damn slave dungeons over there. They were guarding. If somebody tried to escape out that door of no return, some of those damn African tribesmen would pew them. They told me this when I was over there. Yeah, they told me this.
Oh my God.
Come on now, let's keep this thing a bean here. All right? Let's keep it a bean. And a lot of these societies over there, they were open to trade. They were trading with these European powers. And they were exchanging captives for goodies. They were getting manufactured goods, firearms, all types of stuff. And they were using those weapons to conquer neighboring ethnic groups, trying to expand their territory, trying to capture more people to sell. No, we're not going to let them just get away with acting like they were pure victims. And listen, the dynamic was geopolitical commerce. It wasn't just European bullying. A lot of them African rulers and them European powers, they had diplomatic treaties. I kept telling y'all, they kept signing treaties with the European powers over there in Africa. That's how they really got colonized the way they did. They kept making them little janky ass treaty deals. And the deals were janky and they just kind of fell through over the years. And then they ended up down bad anyway. See, we as foundational Black Americans, we've never signed no damn treaty. We've never made no deal with these people. But understand, these African monarchs, they sent ambassadors to European courts to negotiate trade terms and solidify their business alliances. Yeah, when I was talking the other day, I was telling y'all about people like Queen Nzinga. They try to prop her up. Queen Nzinga was a major slave trader over there in Angola. She was making all types of deals with the Europeans. They were turning on her. But she was doing all types of little janky ass stuff. A lot of them were. And let's be real. When some of the European nations like Britain basically outlawed the slave trade, they stopped. Remember, in the 1800s, they figured, hey, you know, we got our weight up. We don't have to import people back and forth over the Atlantic Ocean. We don't have to do that no more. We kind of got our weight up. We got a lot of people here, got a lot of people in the Caribbean, and we don't really need to import people, you know, insuring these slave ships and paying these tribal chiefs and just doing, we don't need to do that no more. No. You got to understand, a lot of them African monarchs, they protested that. King Gizo of Dahomey, he pushed back against the British to stop the slave trade. He was like, hey, the slave trade, that's the ruling principle of our empire. Bruh. So a lot of them were still trying to practice slavery when the Europeans stopped, because the Europeans basically said, hey, you know what? Damn that. Instead of importing people, hey, we got our weight up. We can just enslave some of them on the continent. Yeah, we don't have to transport them nowhere no more. We got our weight up. We're going to start colonizing that joint. So we don't need to make deals no more. We already got treaties from
on
them,
the
so we just gonna
dead
go in and regulate on that
ancestors.
ass. Yeah? But understand, the massive scale of the transatlantic slave trade, that required deep logistical coordination, that Europeans couldn't manage that alone. These wealthy African merchants, the Aro Confederacy, the Niger Delta, they controlled the interior supply chains. Many of them, they managed the capture, the holding, the transport of all the enslaved people from the interior. You had other people like Tipu Tip. Y'all heard me talk about him before. Tipu Tip over there in East Africa, who was a black Arab. His mother was Bantu, his dad was Arab, but he was jet black. Major slave trader over there in Zanzibar. Come on now, let's talk real. Here's the thing. The problem is, for a long time, Africa has not been held accountable.
So you've got a deaf, blind, dumb, backwards person speaking an African language, coming from the African country, came here to be a parasite.
A lot of times, Africa has not been held accountable. Y'all share this space. Y'all share this space. There's been this thing where we're not supposed to hold Africa or Africans accountable for some of the janky stuff that has been done. We're going to have to be real. I've talked about this before. They try to get away with saying little stuff like this because for a long time, we've been making excuses for them and their behavior. Yo, we're going to talk turkey tonight. We've been making excuses for their behavior. Where somebody said, I'm removing the context. Okay, JW, hop on, please. Okay, hold on. JW, hop on. If I'm removing the context, please tell me. JW, hop on.
Yo, can you hear me?
I can hear you, JW. You're Nigerian, right?
No, I'm not Nigerian. I'm not West African, but I understand the context of the slave trade.
Oh, no, where's your family from?
I'm East African. I've been up before.
Oh, I talked to so many of you guys. You Eritrean, Somalian, what?
Oh, you brought up someone from my ethnic group before, Tipu Tip, Swahili. I'm Swahili, Zanzibari, and I'm
you're from Zanzibar?
Baganda. Yeah, I'm both, and I'm Baganda, Uganda.
Okay. But so you know Tipu Tip was a beast, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but he was also mixed race. He didn't really have any allegiances to tribe. He was his father was Arab.
Right. And his
He
mother was
believed he was
Bantu.
Arab.
Yeah, his mother was jet black Bantu. That's why he was black as hell.
Yeah, but his mother was also a slave.
Yeah, but yeah, he ended up being a major slave trader. He was running Zanzibar. I've
Yeah,
been
but
doing
he's also like mixed race. He had no allegiances to people from inland Tanzania.
Okay, is that the context? Tipu Tip was jet black. So
Yeah, I know he was jet black, but
you're
he
talking about he
believed he was
mixed.
Arab. He
That's
was
like saying, well,
socially
Wesley
Arab.
Snipes was mixed. Well, okay, what does that mean? Mixed with
No, but I'm saying
black and
the
blacker?
context you're removing is he didn't even believe he was African. He believed he was Arab fully. Like you couldn't, like you, if he was alive today, you couldn't tell him he's not an Arab.
Okay.
Also, the context you're removing is that Europeans also removed people that resisted selling them slaves and replaced them with leaders that would. For example, there was a king in Ghana of the Fante tribe. His head was kept in Netherlands for nearly 300 years because he refused to sell the Fante people.
So y'all couldn't whoop them small group of Europeans?
I mean, at that point in time, they hadn't seen a gun.
But when they start selling your guns, you could have got your weight up. They start giving you guns. You got guns from different European powers. So at that point, you could have said, hey, let me start pew-pewing some of these folks who's coming over here taking people.
Yeah, but then the Dutch gave the Ashanti people. They then armed the Ashanti people, who then sold the Fante people, who initially refused to sell slaves. And then once the Fante people realized, we need to work with the Europeans, they bought pew-pews from, I think it was the Portuguese. So they triangulated them against each other, typically when they wouldn't have fought to begin with. They manufactured, it's not civil war, 'cause it's not the same people. They manufactured like violence that wouldn't have occurred naturally.
Yeah, man, those more excuses, man. They were complicit.
How is that an excuse? If you triangulate a group of people that typically never would have fought to begin with, and then you take the spoils of that conflict, that isn't like an excuse. That's triangulation. Like,
it don't matter about no damn triangulation. Look, y'all were the majority over there, and it was smacking you around, making you complicit, and some of you wanted to be complicit with it. Nobody twisted Tipu Tip's arm. I don't want to hear all that. He thought he was Arab. Nobody twisted his arm. That dude was knee deep. He was the biggest slave trader over there.
Yeah, I know. He sold the most slaves on the eastern part.
Yes, he did. Yeah, nobody twisted his arm. That money, he was getting money. All right.
He was also an Arab, though. You're ignoring that.
Arab, and there's black Arabs. There's a lot of black Arabs. That don't mean anything.
I mean, technically, I would be a black Arab socially back then, but no, I identify as a black African.
Yeah. Zanzibar is not in Arabia, all right? Zanzibar is in Africa. He know his homeland. He was born over there in Zanzibar, in Africa, sir. So yeah, all that excuses, a lot of people think that there's something else. That doesn't excuse it. That's the point. For example, that mindset that Tipu Tip had, that's still now, you still got it now with people like Myron Gaines. He's an Arab from Africa who thinks he's an Arab or whatever. And he comes over here, has the same mindset as Tipu Tip against us. That's what we're saying.
Yeah, I fully agree with that.
Yeah, that mindset is still there, sir. That's what I'm saying. All right. But thank you so much, JW. Okay, yeah.
Take care.
Okay, some old half-ass. That ain't no context. That's just You had a mentally conquered Sambo. Okay, yeah, that's the point. Yeah, I just want to put context. Let me move the goalpost around. Okay, yeah, none of that. No. This is what I'm saying. All of that not taking accountability. What about Nzinga? Oh, Nzinga was knee deep in the slave trade too. Getting together with these old cannibalistic tribes, committing infanticide, getting babies and crushing infants and rubbing the remains of crushed infants into oils and herbs and putting it on your body because it's supposed to make you invincible because you're taking on the spirit of the infants you crushed. She was doing all types of weird shit like that. Yeah? She was doing all types of weird stuff. African with the flag. You said what's not true. African with the flag. Hop on.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yes, what's not true?
That Queen Latifah was a slave trade. That's not true. She was actually fighting against the slave trade.
Wait. Please get your microphone together. Please get your microphone together. I can barely hear you. You're very muffled. You're very, very muffled. Please, let me get your mic together. Now, what'd you say? Are you using headphones, sir? Huh?
With a second account, like because.
Brother, are you using headphones?
No, I'm not using headphones. My mic is bad. Can I like use like a different account?
Now, what'd you say? Queen Nzinga wasn't a slave trader?
No, I was saying, can I go with my different with a different account because my mic here is bad on this phone.
Okay, get another account then.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, what the hell are you talking about? How your phone that janky? I could have swore he said Queen Nzinga wasn't a slave trader. Did he say that? I could have swore he said that. I'm like, are you insane?
All right, let me just, before you go, MHS, let me just show you how stupid Sean is. Okay, see, one thing about me, I'm trying to let you guys know, man, you can pull up, but if I say somebody's a cow, if I say somebody's goofy, a horrible researcher like John Clark, I told you, I always bait people. I give little bit of pieces out there. I want people to jump. And once they jump, I do a live like this. Well, I'm ready now to expose them completely, which I was not going to do. Take my word. He's a horrible historian. Now, I wasn't going to do him like this. I guarantee you, after tonight, nobody of FBA will ever respect John Clark ever again. I guarantee you. I know what I'm talking about. All right, now look, I'm going to show you Sean. I say Sean is a half a retard. Watch this. Okay, so now I'm going to get Sean out of here real quick. Yeah, I got clips on everybody I need to have clips on, and nobody got nothing on me. Watch this.
But that's an expression. That's a gene expression. Albinoism is missing something. That the pigmentation in your skin is missing something, right? That's why like some people with freckles. That's a pigmentation issue. There you go, Kapala. Void of melanin.
Freckles. Huh? I ain't know that one. Well, but any race can produce albinos, all right?
Can produce what?
Albinos.
No.
Right, you got no.
Stop the cap.
No. Show me a white albino.
Okay, Sean just said the dude set him up. He said all races can produce albinos, right? Sean's stupid ass said no. You gotta show him an albino. Show him, like physically grab an albino and bring him to his doorstep. Right? This is how dumb this guy is.
Okay. Albinoism comes from a void of melanin, only from black people.
All right. So we got that very clear. Only from black people can albinos be produced. Right? This is how dumb this dude is. In the age of ChatGPT, Grok, AI, people are still this stupid. Listen.
Only from us.
Only from black people?
Yeah. Show me a Chinese
That dude sound.
Okay, so he's debating the Apple guy. So the Apple guy, like, damn, like the Apple guy was even shocked that Sean was this stupid. So he like just show you one white or Chinese albino. He was like, he started laughing. Sound like Freddy Krueger. Like, okay, all right, damn, this guy is stupid.
Funny.
See, but this is what Pan-Africanism bring you, a bunch of liars. They hate white people so much they just lose ability to have correct information. John Clark is one of them.
Reading it out loud. Hold on, I just looked it up. It said, okay, I looked up. I said, can every race produce albinos? And it says yes, people from every racial or ethnic.
Okay, so Sean's out of there. I'm gonna keep playing the video though. So now you think this is time to concede, like, oh, we're okay. I mean, it's stupid to not know that. Okay, these guys are scientific literate, right? These are science guys. Didn't know that all races can produce albinos. Okay, so he's sourcing up on them. Watch how Sean moved the goalposts. Sean's gonna move the goalposts and act like he's right still.
ethnic background can have albinism. I usually tell them.
Keep reading it. Let's see what it. Let's see what it explains.
All right. A few important clarifications. What albino is. Albinism is a genetic condition, not a race.
There you go.
I mean, but if it's not a race,
then you go what? What you mean? There you go. Right? He act like that supported him to do that. Contradict you. You said only Africans can produce albinos. He just showed you all races can. Chinese, white, Indian. Well, it gets worse.
No, albino, bro. Only black people doing that. Show me a white albino.
Okay, so he still is on his bullshit. The research contradicted this guy. Nah, hell no. Only black people can do that. So now we got to show this guy a white albino. Okay. Let's first read the data. Albinism in white people, as with all races, white people. This is how dumb your man is. Albinism in white people, as with all races, is a genetic condition causing significantly reduced melanin. That means white people have melanin, and when they have reduced melanin, they produce albinos, resulting in white platinum hair, very pale skin, and light blue eye, light hazel or violet. Okay, there you go. Show you an albino. Got you.
They're gonna say it's hair and eyes, but he's still white. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm for real. Look up white albino.
We just did.
Look it up right now. Hold on, let me see. Let me show me a white albino.
Yeah.
Oh shit! They showed me some pictures, man. They showed me. An albino person or animal, what the fuck, with a genetic condition causing a lack of it's a lack of melanin pigment, resulting in very pale skin, all that shit. But I literally typed in. I'm just showing you. I'm just saying what I typed in. I typed in show me a white albino, and that's what it showed me.
And don't they look white?
Yeah. Dude, what the hell are you talking about how they look? You said they never existed. You said only black albinos existed. Now he talking about don't they look white? Dude, kick rocks. But that's your man though. That's how fast we get. That's how fast we do this stuff, man. I keep receipts on everybody.
Yeah, how you gonna call up with an iPhone 1.0? Man. But listen, all of this explaining, see, we're not doing that. See, these folks don't want to be held accountable. We've sat up here and not let these people be held accountable for all the little janky stuff. You see, they use all these old goofy excuses they try to use. Because we done gave them a pass a long time. We've given them a pass for a long time, ladies and gentlemen. Excuse me. See, we've not made Africa and Africans accountable for a lot of stuff because for a long time, and I talked about this before, Pan-Africanism and all that, that has framed Africa as a de facto heaven. There's been this romantification of Africa, and we used Africa for a long time as some kind of psychological sanctuary. You see? We've used that as like a psychological sanctuary. Being over here under brutal, systematic racism, white supremacy, and physical violence, Africa at one point became conceptually transformed into a psychological safe haven. People start telling these stories about, oh, this pristine homeland. That's a stark contrast to the reality of the brutality that we're experiencing now. Oh, there's a safe motherland. It's a pre-colonial utopia where there's green grass and food all over the place and sunny skies and you're walking around free. And a lot of historic narratives started to focus on the majesty of ancient African empires like Mali and Egypt. And you just overlook some of the wars and the internal oppression and all that stuff. Excuse me, I'm sorry. So yeah, a lot of that early
Wait, hey family, bear with me. Let me get Rob Bourne out of there too. So I got Sean out of there. Now look how stupid Rob Bourne is. He called in. Yeah, these guys are stupid, man. Now this is Rob Bourne.
You have nothing. You're just talking. You have nothing. So now you talked about Marcus Garvey. I don't know why you want to talk about Marcus Garvey. You called him the biggest scammer of all. Marcus Garvey, you could really call him a black nationalist because of the things that he created more in America. This comes from the National Humanities Center.org. Let's scroll down here. We're going to look at what this person brought forth. I'm going to turn this screen sideways so we can see this. Blah, 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 blah. Unbelievable. Tulsa. Let's go down. We almost there. Okay. Now we here. Hold on, because I haven't looked at this in a while. I want to make sure that I got it right. Garvey organized his group in a way that made the sentiments viable, and that's the sentence of we need to liberate ourselves. He created an African legion that dressed in military garb, uniform marching bands, and other auxiliary groups, such as the Black Cross Nurses. He was elected in 1920 as that provision. But I want to get to these organizations. I want to get to what he brought forth here. Want to get to that. Where is it at? Okay, we have the Black Church, Mr. Man. It's important.
Okay. These guys overrid. You think ICE overrides police to a ship he didn't own?
No.
To black that.
Okay, bro. Whatever you say, bro.
Yeah, we ain't doing that. Let me select your name right now. You try to run, you're gonna be right off this damn panel.
What? What did you just say to me, bro?
Let me select your name now, because if you try to run from the question after
run from what question? Run from what question?
Did Garvey sell stocks to a ship he didn't own?
No.
All right. Now you heard his dumbass say no. They all do this. This is the Pan-African question you ask these guys. They all fall for the bait. All right, watch this.
Black Americans. All right. He's a piece of shit. All right, okay.
No. I just want you to put the source up there, bro.
Hold on. So let me go back. I mean, I felt like this ain't even. I shouldn't have to do this. But right over, they got the stock thing and everything in here. The false advertisement. Okay, so now let's read it. Okay. It says the Black Star Line, bro. Like I said, I'm surprised somebody actually said share my screen. Okay, so the Black Star Line brochure for Filers Weekly, central exhibit in the mail fraud case in 1921. Filers Weekly did not exist, so he got a brochure of a ship that does not exist.
So the ship don't exist?
Okay, look, I'm gonna read it one time. The Black Star Line brochure for Filers Weekly, central exhibit in the mail fraud case of 1921. Filers Weekly did not exist. This is a doctored photograph. That means his printing skills was in play, right? The same way he made the stock certificates. This is a doctored photograph of an ex-German ship. Is that scamming, bro?
Okay, so now who heard one word I said? You hear how muffled I was and how clear he is? Hear what I said. Anyway, I wrote 21, the Orion, but the transaction never was completed. And in spite of shipping board, the Black Star Line, Marcus Garvey had proposed to buy her, but the transaction never was completed. And in spite of all this, so it's a doctored photo by Marcus Garvey. And what he did was He told his investors, black Americans, hey, invest in my new ship. Okay, and he solicited donations through mail for this ship. That was the mail fraud case. But he never owned the ship. The transaction never happened. I simply asked for Rob. Now, is that scamming? And this is his answer.
Showing an image of that's not what you're selling. Is that scamming? No. Is that false or true?
Is that what false or true?
Yeah, what I just read.
I can't even hear you, bro. That shit is like mumbled on my shit. I heard you say a ship name.
Exactly. And that's why I did the debate with the microphone too. That's why I read exactly. And I said that's exactly how I sounded, and that's how I sound now as I'm talking to you. And that's why when I presented this video we did yesterday, I was responsible. I went over my talking point with my microphone. I know I sound muffled. You just said it. I'm gonna clip this thing up so perfectly. All right. So the Black Star Line. Did Marcus Garvey doctor up a photo to misrepresent a ship that he supposedly owned and solicit stock sales for that very ship from Black Americans? You said no, right? You said you still stand on that?
Yeah, he had a shit, but that wasn't the name of that joint, far as I remember. It's called the Yuckamock or some other shit. What is this? Where is this from? What's this one from?
This is your same thing. When you were sharing your wiki thing,
Oh,
I'm
it's
like,
the
let me
same wiki
use y'all.
page? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was showing what you said. Okay.
Yeah, because I know it's here. But so whatever the shit was called, you still don't believe that he misrepresented a ship to his investors and had them
no.
So as you can clearly, his money, but he denied. Dude, exactly like my Marcus America
owns the ship. Looking to see if you knew.
With the Black Star Line, failed again. He went to London, failed again. 4-time failure, man.
You see, I was looking to see if you knew, like the because the story.
All right. So Lex and V4. Now he's saying he agrees that Marcus Garvey sold ships sold stocks for ship he did not own, and his reason for saying no the first time, lying to me, he's looking to see. Listen to the reason why he said no, that Marcus Garvey didn't do that thing, and now I got the evidence to him, gave it to him. He tried to question Lex. He tried to question the source. I said, bro, it's the same source you read earlier on Wikipedia, my guy. I used your source. This ain't my source. This is what you read, but you skipped past this. Before, I'm telling you, man, I'm on another level with this. I'm using your source, Rob Moore. That's why his new name is Rasun. That's my son. So now he's trying to explain why he said it wasn't scamming, and now that it's proven it was, he wanted failed again. 4-time failure, man.
You see, I was looking to see if you knew, because the story is this, right? The story is this: the corporation owns the ship. It is a ship. The problem is that the people that went and purchased the ship, they purchased it from a European. The ship was fucked up, and what he didn't do was basically tell the people yo, this shit is not right and exact. So now,
is that scamming?
No, it's not scamming. He wanted to. He was trying to
do that.
No. Hold on, brother.
Now look, hey, V4. By the way, V4. They called Tariq Nasheed a scammer, and he ain't do none of that shit.
You see, you know what it is? From listening to that piece, this is what I hear. I hear he knows what you're talking about, but he was hoping you didn't catch it.
Right.
That was his scam right now.
Right.
He was
crazy,
hoping
bro.
you didn't catch it.
Hey, bro, they all do it. The Reggies, the Unks, they hope you don't know what you're talking about. And that's what Lex was saying earlier. Lex said, they go to small channels, just started people all access media. Like my man FBA got a great heart, but he's not like one of us. Not yet.
I watch him.
Right. He's not there yet. He's getting there. Brother Reggie rushed out there to debate him. He rushed out there to debate that guy.
Come on, man.
like he sensed that he's new and he just got the big heart. He went out there and debated him. I'm like, yo, these guys are clowns, man, but they dodge me. They don't want to click the link. And you see, I'll be having more numbers of all them guys put together. They will not come over here, man.
Bro, I remember I heard what was the brother Unk, right? Unk, what's his name? Unk, whatever it is, that guy you be debating sometimes, you be going back and forth with.
Yeah, Uncle Ruckus.
Yeah. I heard him say this several times, and Professor Mod say this, that we don't read. And at first I was
Always say that.
offended. But this is what I'm getting from it. That's a theme among all of them. So if that's their theme and they really truly believe we don't read, that's part of the foundation by which they think they can get everything on over us. They think
Right, they believe that.
so this is why the other day when when we was talking about if Africans sold slaves, right? I said, I'm like, hold
Which
on.
we're going to talk about today, by the way. I'm so glad you called in, because I swear to God, I wanted to talk. I want you to call in. This is perfect timing.
I wanted to read just a little bit so brothers in the chat can get this. Like, this is stuff you could actually research, and they're going to tell you where the evidence is, right? So one thing about the European culture we know for a fact is they keep detailed records of everything they did. They even tell on themselves because of the records they keep.
Right,
They tell on themselves, right? So they kept detailed records, right? This is why, remember when I said yesterday, I said, if you're in a supermarket or some type of store and they accuse you of stealing, and you have the receipt and or invoice of what you purchased, if they don't believe and they don't accept the receipt or invoice as proof, would you not be appalled and angry? Because that was the trap. See, that's the trap. So now, these Europeans, they got the receipts, I'm talking about literal, actual invoices, logs, ledgers of everybody they dealt with, what they purchased, how much they purchased it for, who insured it, everything. It's impossible for you to read as you say you do and study this history and not know that these people sold Africans, right? And then go on all these platforms, worldwide platforms, and say they didn't sell people. Impossible.
That's wild. That's wild. And that's why I call bullshit on Lex to try to explain that away with John Clark. Again, as a historian, he's not one of us. He's not Elijah Muhammad. So don't put people as a shield to save. No. These guys are not. Elijah Muhammad is a religious teacher. Okay, he's not a historian. Like, he don't go and start teaching on global things. No, he talk about his religion, his personal doctrine. That's it. Okay, this guy is supposed to be a historian that Black America, Lex was saying this, Black America don't appeal to Elijah Muhammad teachings. Okay, that's the Nation of Islam only. But according to Lex, Black Americans embraced Dr. John Clark. So that means that his teachings had influence on our education, on our belief system. So he can't afford to lie. He's not seen as a religious teacher.
99% of Black Americans never heard of John Henry Clark.
I was trying to tell him that. I said, bro, like, you're an ex-Pan-African, and I know you guys think these guys are bigger than what they are. But if I call dear friends on three-way, I could call back to back to back to back to back. They never heard of this guy.
Even in academics, they don't teach you about John Henry Clark.
No, because he broke all. Look, I'm gonna tell you why, man. Yo, there's a reason I'm going live late today, not earlier, because I've been researching this guy, fact checking him. He's not seen as a true historian. He lies and he revises. He makes mistakes that no historian, no credible historian would make.
Wow.
That's why he's not seen as no, I got him. I got the total critique on this guy's scholarship. They said historians don't do that. They don't weigh in opinions. They don't be Black nationalists. They just tell you history. That's it.
Yeah. They just tell you the history of the truth. And the truth is the truth, whatever it is. Whatever it is. And here's another thing, right? Here's another thing. They're arguing, it's like Pan-Africanism to them is a religion, because they're arguing belief. Because there's ample evidence, there's ample certified, academically accepted evidence of all kinds that contradict their beliefs. You can't tell me you did all this reading as this so-called Pan-African scholar and self-studied individual, and you didn't come across this information.
Impossible. And don't
telling.
forget, he calls himself a historian. He's not us
Yes.
just online, just doing our thing. He says he's an historian. He's out there giving lectures. He's all over the world, and he put the word doctor before his name to deceive even worse.
Was it him who said he doesn't? He what he said that as a quote. He doesn't he doesn't something with he doesn't debate with he
Yeah,
only debates
he
with his
doesn't he
peers or
doesn't
others who teach
yeah.
something to
And
that effect.
when he said that, he was getting his ass kicked in that debate. Yeah,
And
that was his, when that white woman was kicking his ass, that was his rebuttal. Like, okay, let me just I don't debate nobody. Like what people do today. I ain't gonna debate you. You're not on my level, and he just hang up.
yeah,
He
yeah, yeah.
4T, he 4T'd the panel. Like he came with that right there. And real historians bust his ass, bro. Even like Brother Reginald would a lot of them would admit he took a L right there. Even like
I'm gonna tell
Pan-Africanists
you
would say,
something.
yeah, that was an L.
I'm gonna tell you something, right? Um, I'm like, yo, bro, I don't understand what the play is with these people now. Because there's a plethora of FBA channels out here, and we are going from channel to channel, supporting various channels, and we're taking like people will come on your channel, Ron, right? I've seen people on your channel go to other channels and participate and deliver information that they learned over here. You know what I'm saying?
And revenue is my biggest student. he's the main one.
I don't
Him
even
and
know where he at.
IBM.
I don't see him no more. I don't see where he. I don't be
Yeah,
ain't seeing him on here no more.
his material drying up. But him and
You got
IBM are
yeah.
the main ones that come over here, have conversations with me, learn extensively. Ain't no, I mean, you learn over here. I don't lie for nobody.
They losing. And oh, this is what I wanted to say to you. It just came to my mind. The 19 keys thing. Did you see did you see the video he did where the live where he said we lose the opportunity to do business?
Yeah,
Talking
yeah.
about the Africans. And it just hit me. Remember earlier on, me and you discussed this, like all of these Pan-Africanist people that are upset about our talking points are really they're upset because they're losing business. Here come
Right.
19 Keys talking about he want to sell us coffee. He got
I'm
a
good. I got
deal.
Folgers in my cup.
He got
I'll
a
pass.
deal in Ghana with coffee beans. And he wants to sell us coffee. These people are all the same. They're upset because when you break the back of Pan-Africanism, that whole ideology is really you're breaking the back of the grift. They
Right.
want
And
to
let
they
me add
want to
to that.
so-called
Well,
educate
let me
you
add,
and just say buy my stuff.
and let me add to that. And I don't know if you heard the part where I read his selling points. His selling points is how great Africa is and the Ghanaian soil. You dig?
Yes.
So when we're delineating and we're no longer looking at Africa as this great motherland religious bullshit, we're not gonna believe that story with the
Facts.
Ghanaian rich soil. See the volcanoes, right? When they can, like, dude, we don't
Facts.
give a fuck about that, man.
Facts. 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 There's no more this mysterious Mecca or Wakanda and all. We don't believe in none of that shit no more.
Hey, yo,
None of that.
because listen, this is always the rule in business. This is always the rule. If you're selling shirts, somebody else selling CDs or whatever, right? Music. The question is, why do I need to? I don't care if you V4.
Mm-hmm.
Why do I need to buy yours when I'm already buying what I'm already satisfied what I'm buying already. Why I need
Mm-hmm.
to buy yours? So now you got to come with a legitimate reason. This is business. It can't just be buying me because I'm black. No, that doesn't work, man. It has to be more than that. So so 19 keys, the more than that is the Ghanaian soil and the melanin and the close to the equator, the sun
Come on,
rays hit here
man.
differently. Like he got to do all that shit.
Come
So when we're
on.
delineating, that don't mean nothing to us
It
no
don't
more.
mean nothing. Yeah.
So
He's
so so
he's
now
like,
so now he can't separate the product and tell us why this and not Folgers. That's out
and not
now.
even just that. Not even just that. on a much basic level with the delineation, there's going to be some of us that say, I don't give a goddamn about no Ghanaian goddamn beans. Them same beans, let them choke on them damn beans they was drinking, they was using and selling to the damn Europeans when they were selling out people.
Right, yeah, you're gonna sell the European all the good shit, and you're gonna sell us the coffee beans.
Get out of here. We don't care about that. And then that's all you came up with. He got on the live and was talking about all the stuff in the ground, in the earth of Africa, and all he could come up with is coffee beans.
That's all. So think about this. All that talk about we're gonna miss opportunities to do business with Africa and all this. We need to help employ Africans, and the best you walked away with, and check it out. He's not even like a part owner, bro. He is somebody like he's a wholesaler. He's buying it to resell it to us.
See, look, come on, man. Come on. It's grift. He's buying it to sell it to us.
Yep. Yeah, he's a coffee wholesaler. He's a flipper.
Come on, man. Come on, bro.
And look, at a higher margin, at a higher price, because he got to make a profit.
He's mad. Every time I hear somebody who's supposed to be who's by lineage FBA stand against us, that's something we got to add to the point of the code, right? Anytime we see any FBA person that's standing against us, look to see if he's trying to sell something to us or if he's trying to get a job or position with someone that's one of our ops. It's one of the two.
And it's funny you said that, because like after yesterday or the day before, we had the arguments on a panel. I'm like, you know what? I didn't ask people questions because we're saying we FBA, and I reserved some questions just for like people who are non-FBA or not FBA but Pan-African, like the dual allegiance. I said, you know what? I got to start asking these questions, even with the FBA family, because a lot of us be having hidden agendas. Like, so let's start with you, Marcus Garvey. Sold stocks to a ship he didn't own, right? Is that scamming?
Yeah, that's scamming.
All right. The Africans steal us and sell us to the white man?
Goddamn right they did.
All right. Wait, what's the last one? Oh, damn, what's the last? For some reason, like, they just can't forsake these beliefs. Like, they just, the hell, you got me.
Yeah, it's like, it's you know what it's like? It's like the movies, when the vampire movie, those questions is like when you pull out the cross on the vampire.
Yeah. or you expose them to like sunlight. All right, so now last one is this. John Henry Clark sat there and said Africans were not involved in the slave trade. Do you believe that's true? Okay,
that's cool. A bold-faced lie.
All right.
Yeah. Now,
I don't want no explaining to that.
Hold on. There's one more. You gotta come up with this fourth one. How to ask this? It's a question that should be asked to see if they deify people like John Henry Clark.
Okay.
Because remember yesterday, I don't know if it was Lex or the other brother, they were really upset that you were calling him a liar, and he kept saying, I don't disagree with what you're saying, but I just don't think you gotta desecrate the brother. Desecrate. This is not religion. You know what I'm saying? And he's a human being. He's a man. Well, he was a man like you a man. There's nothing venerable about him. So if you see the facts and evidence in which he lied, if you're a so-called historian and a scholar, and you're changing the truth. I used to be a member of the 5% Nation of Gods and Earth. We call that devilishment. You're trying to master the original man. This is a fact.
Right. And you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? And in that conversation, I was wrong about something John Henry Clark was saying, because I was wrong, but I was wrong for the right reason. But anyway, I was wrong, and I admitted I was wrong. And Lex held that against me, a guy who's saying, yeah, I'm wrong, but you're a deified man. I'm wrong, you're condemning me. And I said, yeah, I'm wrong on that one. But this guy's wrong as hell, and he's
no, it's worse than that. You were
that
wrong
part I didn't
unintentionally. he was intentionally lying.
Right.
And he was upset with you for calling him that which he is. It's the same way when we started banging on Professor Smalls, how people were trying to have him in a space where even though he's flip-flopping and he's using op language and shitting on us, we're not supposed to get at him for it.
See, and that's why I don't subscribe to the elder stuff, because the elder stuff is to give them immunity.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, I'm good with that. Now these guys are, like I said, like they're low key our gods.
Yeah.
They be wrong as hell, and we must. It's like white people. Like white people do that with their people. It'd be wrong as hell, but hey, man, the Pope. I'm sorry, he raped. He raped 1,000 people, but no, somehow he's right.
Yeah,
he's a saint still. Like,
he's a saint
we're
still.
not doing
We
it.
can't. Yeah, we're not. No, hell no. He got to go. If he got to go, he got to go. Banging on him. I'm banging on him. I'm banging on him. Anybody that show forth that they are lying intentionally, especially they're grifting, and you're in support of that, you are off code.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I'm not saving nobody. Like I said, if Tariq Nasheed said some wild stuff tonight, tomorrow morning I'm like, yo, he's wilding. He's wrong.
And guess what? We put ourselves in the best position by stating that he is not our leader, because that's the goal. The goal is to make him our leader, and then
Not the
tear him
leader,
down,
not the
thereby
God, not the prophet, none of that. He's
None
a
of that.
regular man who, as you can see, he petty, he make mistakes. He says and do stuff that I wouldn't do, but guess what? He's a grown man. Like only he can answer to that, because he demoted himself. Like, yo, I'm not trying to campaign and be this great guy before y'all. I'm a regular guy who's gonna do me, regardless of what.
Yeah, facts. You know what I'm saying? And at the same time, right? It's funny because you got a lot of brothers like yourself and other brothers out there putting information. And that's why I brought up the Freeman Project. Those brothers and sisters, they like Tariq, but they don't follow him. They doing what they're doing based on their own research and their own activism. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Tariq ain't got nothing, and their intelligence shines through. Tariq ain't got nothing to do with that. He got nothing to do with that.
Like Ryan Coogler says, FBA. Like, you think he look at Tariq as his leader?
Facts.
His advisor?
Facts.
Nah, he look at, hey, that's a cool term that applies to me, and I'm rocking with it. And he probably don't give 2 cents about Tariq other than the terminology.
Yeah, that's it.
Like he probably think Tariq is pseudo. He probably think everything everybody else thinks, but he believes that FBA acronym is great.
And here's the funny thing about 19 Keys. With that conversation he had on that platform when he was talking about FBA and Tariq, they mentioned how they know that the idea of delineation and stuff and being indigenous to America, those ideas was rooted with people from a long time ago. So why are you banging on him? Because he made it popular. Making it popular doesn't mean he's the leader. What he did was he tapped into the teachings of some of our forefathers and re-examined it and found it right. That's all that happened. By now, if anything was not right and exact about the delineation movement, the fight for reparations, and disaggregation, if anything was incorrect about it, FBA would have found it, because we're researching like a motherfucker. We are researching like a. If you watch other channels regularly, you're going to see we're researching like, yo, Ron, we're researching. It's a lot of us. It's a lot of us, man. It's a lot of us. And it's coming together. And they mad because they're losing the propaganda war. They're losing the propaganda war. They're slipping, and they're mad. They're upset. The same talking. They're like the Democrats. They can't come up with new talking points that are effective. So they're wash, rinse, recycle, same talking points. Those talking points are over. Those checks don't cash in this bank no more. Uh-oh, what's this? What's the problem? Yeah, so, so 19 keys and smalls are examples of why you shouldn't open your mouth before it happens. Facts. Yeah, but one of the things that I implore all of us to do, anybody in the chat, right? People, if you talk to other FBA brothers and sisters, grab the information, a little bit of the information, and start researching. It's like pulling on a piece of thread. You pull on a thread, and then a whole bunch of stuff starts falling apart, and you start seeing things for what they really are. So when they start talking about this, Africans didn't sell Africans. You start doing the research. You go on YouTube. You see the Africans giving up the whole history about the slave trade in Africa, or how the Ashanti Kingdom were leaning on the Ganja, the Ganja tribe, forcing them to go out and lean on smaller tribes to capture them, and they had quotas. They actually had quotas on
That's
catching.
crazy.
They had quotas, Ron. The Ashanti Kingdom were leaning on a smaller tribe to get them to go out there and capture other smaller tribes. The
Oh yeah,
Salga, I think
George Macon brought that yesterday. And that's what I was trying to tell Lex yesterday. I was like, Lex, dude, you got to stop. Like George Macon had Lex came on right when George Macon took off. And George Macon had what you said, the Conja tribe, all those people, George Macon had just laid all that out. Like he just did for like 40 minutes. All that, what you said right now, he laid all that out. So Lex come in at the end of that, he didn't see it. I'm like, damn, bro, this was bad timing, because everybody, 300, 400 people just heard this. And now you come in like saying this guy is justifying Jeremy Clark. This ain't looking good, my guy. So that's why like the chat anytime we're off code, the chat gonna get you, bro. At all times. They're gonna get you. And then just look at the chat. Like if you want to know if you're off code or not, look in the chat.
Yeah, look at the chat. The chat is like, yo, this is what I was trying to get Lex to understand when that dude Something Bay came on. They don't understand. I wanted them to understand when you start asking. Remember early in the game with your channel, we would ask certain people certain questions, and we knew by the answer, we knew
oh yeah, that was funny as hell, bro. Right.
So when I asked him, I said, how did you get the name Bay? I only asked that because you just sat up here and said you were Choctaw and something else, and all of a sudden your name is Bay. And you're a Moor? I thought you were just a Choctaw. What are you talking about?
Right.
So I'm like,
right.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So you're arguing out of two sides of your mouth, because if you're a Choctaw, right, you're FBA.
And if you're FBA, you ain't no damn Moor.
Facts. You know what I'm saying? If you're Choctaw, you're FBA, you ain't no damn Moor. What are you talking about? So when they out there, I want guys out. When you start seeing Ron or other people that on Ron channel that he been talking with a long time, they start asking specific dead questions. It's because those questions are going to force them to reveal who they are.
Right. So all the babbling, right? It saves all the babbling, the long drawn.
Yes.
Like that. And look, Tariq do the same thing. I see when he starts talking to people, he be like, "Hey, just get to it. What's your real question?
Where you from?" As soon as he asks them where they from, it's over.
Yeah, right. It's over. They start, I'm from America, New York City.
It's over.
Like, no, man, where your lineage from, my
Where
guy?
your family from?
Right.
But and I'm going to show you I'm going to show you how effective that simple thing is. The arrogance of a tether gets them caught up every time. You know why? They don't study our history correctly. So when they start trying to cosplay and say they're from here and there, when you ask them where they're from, they don't know nothing about these places. What school do you go to over there? See? You start asking about various things that took place or what was the ongoings at the time of this. If you're 30 years old and you're saying you're from Andrew, your family's from Andrew, South Carolina, or North Carolina, they're gonna be like, yo, okay, what school do you went out there? What was going on over here with this, that, and the third?
Right.
Oh, they're not gonna know the culture.
Yeah, so and like here's the bad thing. Like Chad called in, me and Chad went to middle school together. So like, you know what I mean? So there you go, right there. And like other folks, I went to elementary school.
Facts.
And so bro, it's gonna get to, we're gonna get there.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, listen, man, you gotta call up some childhood friends. You dig? Yeah. Oh, you went to what school and where? All right, bro.
It might be
You
somebody
gotta
in the chat
verify
that's familiar
yourself.
with the area.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You gotta now start to like explain some of this stuff. All right. So now I'm ready. So what happened was I wasn't ready earlier. You called in perfect time. I locked myself out the damn car. So I finally got back in. You dig? I was mad because my laptop died and the charger and everything's in the car. Okay, so we're here. We're in the car, and now we're gonna talk about this piece of shit historian dude, John Clark. Right. This guy is a piece of shit. You're gonna find out. Now I was gonna leave it where it was that day and not expose him till I get like Brother Reggie over here. You know, one of these huge Pan-Africans. I was gonna save it for them. I wouldn't expect one of us to be caping for this nigga. All right. So I'm gonna get him out of here. Now, first of all, we're gonna revisit the slavery thing first before we get to getting up out of here. But you know what? Let's look at this first. See, now there's certain language that these folks use.
Today we commemorate the victims of a staggering crime. Millions of people stolen from their families and...
There you go. That stolen thing. Yeah, so I even told George Macon, because he said that. I said, dude, listen, man. You got, because he said it the first time I let him slide. He said it again. I said, all right, listen, man. Ain't nobody, when you say stolen, man, you got to make that clear. Because most of our experience with heinous crimes and violence are through white people. So when you say something like that, we're going to automatically think white people did the stealing in America.
Yes.
So that's a deceptive language. You got to be very clear, all right, with us, because a lot of us use certain terminology, the cracker, all that stuff. I already know where you on now. So when people make those mistakes with the language, I know that just ties into your whole doctrine, which is a religion. I get it. The white man's a devil. You hate him, and he's to blame for everything, even though he's not.
Facts.
But you're gonna make him to blame like your leader, John Clark. Okay, but we're not gonna let that happen over here, because over here I beat myself on the chest to say we're gonna do correct information over here. We're gonna have an unbiased channel with unbiased panelists and co-hosts and all type of shit. Okay, so now the first thing you're gonna, and I teach my I show them patterns. When you hear the word stolen, all right, kidnapped, taken, these are not academic words. When you read about transatlantic slave trade, you're going to read about slave raids and people being captured.
Yes.
Historians use the terminology captured and slave raids. They don't be saying stolen, kidnapped, and taken.
And that has to do with, they use those terms because it has to do with who did it.
Right. Exactly. 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 So exactly.
Yeah, you know where I'm coming. Yeah.
Right. So when we fix our mouth to start saying stolen, kidnapped, and these other words that, again, but they say we don't read. Oh, if we didn't read that, I wouldn't be familiar. You're not saying what the books are saying, my guy. They don't say stolen, kidnapped. They don't say that.
Facts.
You're saying that because you have an agenda. And sometimes people come on different platforms with those. I'm aware of that too. People come on different platforms with the agenda. On my platform, listen, we just talking about the prompt. You know, when I was on TikTok, bro, and I went kind of off topic for 1 second. Yeah, they checked me so fast on TikTok. Sir, stick to the prompt. I'm like, damn. Yeah, I'm like, I need to do that on my channel.
Yeah.
When I got a title, y'all start talking about some other shit. No, stick to the prompt. Yo, they checked me so fast. You young YNs. Yo, stick to the prompt. I'm like, damn, I can't Okay.
Yeah, we got because Ron, our people are serious. They on timing.
Yeah.
They on
Yeah, they ain't
timing. They
playing.
serious.
They like, yo, sir, what you about to say, we get it, but stick to the prompt. Cause you about to start babbling about something else and we ain't there. I like, damn, they checked me. Like, all right, okay, let me stick to the prompt. Damn, they got me. Yeah, so over here, let's stick to the prompt. Like whatever the title is, let's stick to that. Because when people click this link, they're gonna see the title, see the thumbnails. And if it's about John Clark and we're talking about Albert Einstein, it just, diminishes like the credibility of the channel. People start to like not trust the title no more. You dig? And they start to go away. So if we start going off topic, we gotta either end the live and talk on just Zoom or do a new live.
Yeah.
But no more switching the topics.
You gotta stay because they're gonna think it's
live
clickbait.
stream. Right, exactly. And yo, do you know you get flagged for that?
Word?
Yeah, YouTube. That's called deceptive. YouTube. I got a channel deleted for that. I would have one title, then I wouldn't retalk. I did it for. I ain't gonna lie. One I did it and didn't talk about it just to get people in. But I'll be talking about something else. And yeah, YouTube don't like YouTube would delete your account for that.
Wow.
Yeah, you got to talk about what you said you're gonna talk about online.
Yeah.
Yeah,
when
you get flagged for that.
when it come to our subject matter, or the subject matter we talk about though is generally from what I see from I've been on your channel for a while. You usually stick to the script. We go off here and there because the conversation might steer, but you always get it back in line though. So
yeah, that's the goal. So you see, stolen, right? So right there, this white man says stolen. I know he's full of shit. I didn't listen to it after that. I stopped it right there. Like, all right, we're good. So now the next video, before we get to John Clark line as, the next video, we're gonna go here. And I'm talking about he's a piece of shit. Like I'm talking about in every
this dude
no, John Clark. I'm not going when y'all play what I play, I don't expect none of y'all to have no respect for that guy ever again. Like the same way I did. Look at everybody else I exposed. Like I don't have feelings. I play their words. I showed the switcheroo. When I did Lord Jamar, I didn't want to do that. People love Lord Jamar. But guess what? I kept playing it and found more information, and then people start saying, "Damn."
Yeah. You're a flip flopper too.
Oh yeah. But I had to do lives after lives and new info, and then people start to be like, "Yeah, unfortunately, my man is on some bullshit a lot of times."
Yeah. Yep.
I'm the first to expose Lord Jamar, the first to because he's not FBA, by the way. I'm the first to expose James Small, all these guys, Anton Daniels, way before they got exposed formally. I had already done that.
Lord Jamar, he's West Indian, right?
Yeah, but he's a writer. Yeah, like for the most, like he flip flops, but for the most part, he's more consistent with us than not.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's cool. I got nothing bad to say about him. But he was on some weird agent stuff early on. That's why Rod Digger started rocking with him.
Oh, because she was on they had a channel together.
Yeah, but after he went against the lineage, you ain't seen him ever again. Yeah, she bounced, she dipped off. She said, "I'm cool with this guy." I mean, because
you know what I find? I'm not gonna hold you. I grew up on dudes like Lord Jamal, right? And he was 5%er.
Yeah.
So these guys, that's what really got me onto the cosplaying thing. Like this guy was steeped in fucking, excuse my language, he was steeped in in FBA culture as a 5%er. How could he even? I'm like, that means he lived a double agent life. Like Busta Rhymes. How are you a 5%er but you still have the views of a tether? That's a double agent life.
Bro. Yeah, that's why if and I'm not saying this is the religion, but if like the Hebrew Israelites and the Nation of Islam, like they have a good way to keep their tethers in line, yo. Yeah, you don't see too many people that's not FBA that's like talking reckless that's in the Hebrew Israelites or the Nation of Islam. Like they kind of like
no.
they got the serum for those guys to stay straight.
Facts.
So far.
And I'm gonna tell you something with the Hebrew Israelites. It's not by chance that they make sure you know that the individuals in America are the tribe
Right.
of Judah. That's the head
Right,
tribe.
right. Oh yeah, I thought about that too. Like, damn, like even in the Hebrews, like they got rank. Like,
Yeah, listen, you tethers is not Judah.
right at all. Yeah, you don't. You're not the leaders of
No.
the family. All right.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna play this clip right here from Ghana. Right, the UN. And I want to find the other UN guy who was talking, because some slick stuff that Tariq Nasheed caught. Well, Tariq caught it. I've been saying this shit for a long time. But check it out. And I told Lex yesterday, I said, yo, John Henry Clark is worse than what you're saying is. He is the reason why all of these tethers are trying to Africanize us and want to pretend they're black and then pretend we're not black and then saying and denying. Okay, listen what I'm charging John Henry Clark with. He's the reason why a lot of people today are saying they're black and we're not. So the people who are actually black, they're saying we're not black, we're African, nigga. And he's the reason why Africans are saying they're black. He's the reason why everybody's trying to Africanize us, and he's the reason why everybody's saying Africans didn't enslave nobody. The white man did it all. John Henry Clark is the reason for all that. He's a main influencer in that lane. Okay, now and I was trying to let Lex know like gently, but like, dude, I got the proof. So I did today was I said, all right, let me show him. And look, this is one video. I did like 10. Like I'm really in this guy, but I'm gonna do one video. Right, but I did 10, Lex. By the way, I chopped up a lot of his videos to do this. A horrible garbage historian. All right, watch this. And by the way, and he's not far removed for being an agent. Like I'm telling his research is so bad, it's like agent type research. So my thing was Lex was like, how do you condemn an Unc and Dr. Mayat saying the worst things for them when their leader is Dr. Henry Clark? Like, yo, they literally say what he says verbatim.
Yeah, how you gotta condemn the teacher if you're condemning the student.
Yeah. Yo, all of Unc changed of direction. You can even ask Chief X. All of Unc changed the direction recently. He went back and started to. Somebody told him, I think it was Asar, that Frankenstein looking dude. One of those guys told him to start listening to John Henry Clark. And now Unc got a whole different revelation on life. Because Unc don't research for shit. Like he just watch videos and regurgitate them. So that's Unc's whole position. But you're not gonna tell me when I know for a fact that all of his talking points are from Dr. John Henry Clark. The racial construct. When the Unc would say Black African power, all right.
Black
but when Chief X started,
what the fuck is that?
no power, no Black African power. He's always
Black
say that.
African
and
power.
then when Chief X started beating on him, he all of a sudden, race is a social construct. Out of nowhere, he kept saying that. Like, yo, what are you talking about? And then later on, I see John Henry Clark was saying all of that before them, and misabusing that. And John Henry Clark was wrong. The way he was representing it, he was wrong with that. He had race doesn't count because it was a made up white social construct. Well, so is money, stupid. Money's
So is
also
money.
made up. Yeah, and it works. Like, and guess what? You get pulled over because of what? You get denied because of what? What are you talking about? That shit real.
But anything that organizes people under some type of socialistic organization is a construct made up by man.
Right. Yeah, yeah, come on, man. Like it's stupid. It's stupid. But they all ran with that, not understanding what that meant. Like they thought that was like debunking something. It's like, nah, like sociologists, anthropologists, like they know this, but it's necessary to get people to be sociable in a certain way where it's like organized. Like you're organizing people.
Even law is a subgenre of sociology. Yeah, come on. It's all, yeah. Come on now.
All right. Let me play this weird Tiger Woods looking dude right here. Hold on.
Reaction has been positive. People have been happy about the development today. And Isaac, Ghana has been pushing for this resolution for a while now. Tell us more about what's behind that.
So Ghana has been the epicenter really of this whole narrative about slavery because the country has several castles and forts, and many of them were used in the this slavery trade that took place many centuries ago. And across the country, in fact, we have two of the key castles, the Elmina Castle and also the Kepo Castles, where people always come to visit to see the devastation that took place because of slavery. And we've seen this edifice there and trying to remember exactly how our forefathers actually had to struggle and be taken along the ocean.
Now, you heard that? Our forefathers. Now, I'm going to blame John Henry Clark with that. You'll see later. Now, look, he's saying his forefathers was in the Nino Castle being shipped off to white people to never return again. He's saying that's his forefathers. And that's because of John Henry Clark rhetoric. Yo, listen, man. A lot of these Africans, their historian of choice is John Henry Clark, by the way. That's their guy. A lot of these Africans.
You know what I like to get people with when they come with that? Their forefathers? First thing I say is this. Isn't it y'all culture? I don't care what country you go to. Isn't it y'all culture to have an understanding that people of different tribes are not your people? They're going to say yes.
Right.
Then I would say, now let's take it back. Y'all always said, right? And remember, Unc made this argument. You can't say Africans. You got to name the tribe, right? That created a separation.
I heard that retard say that with me. Yeah.
Now that's part of the same idea, meaning if it's two different tribes, they weren't the same people.
Right. So, and look, and that's what I get.
Listen, hold on. Let me tell you. Let me take you there.
Yeah.
So, if you're telling me they sold a tribe, right? That was a different tribe of themselves. They did it because they didn't consider them their people. So how is those people that were sold your forefathers?
Yeah, but also, how are we African? Because we come from that. You just they was the same argument. They'll say we're not them, but then then say we're them. Well, do a DNA test, dude. You're us.
Yes.
But you just said they're not you.
Yes.
You look. Oh, they didn't sell from their own tribes. Oh, they didn't. So I'm not from that tribe that they sold. So how am I you then, my guy? Right. So then how am I you then? You just said you didn't say your own tribe. So how am I you?
Facts.
Stop the finesse. All right, yeah. Now I'm with you. Like you went the other way, that's dope too. I was the other way, right?
You can make the argument over both sides of your mouth and still get them.
Right. You know, I like that though. Hold on. All right, here we go.
To other parts of the world as slaves. It's the oceans to other parts of. I'm trying to remember exactly how our forefathers actually had to struggle and be taken along the oceans to other parts of the world as slaves. It's something that really keeps people thinking, and I think that this.
So I want you to note that, bookmark that. He's claiming that the people who they sold are still his people, like they're one. That's their forefathers. Keep that right there, because you're going to hear similar logic with John Henry Clark. All right.
Drive or campaign for reparative justice actually is anchored on that we see the remnants of this, and we think that something ought to be done, especially even with the issue of securing formal apology from countries that really carried out this particular activity, and in a way having some reparative justice for victims. So this has been ongoing for 3 years now, and eventually we've gotten to this point, driven of course by the passion of the current president who wanted to get this resolution adopted.
And Isaac, let's listen to what UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres said about it.
Today we reflect on a deep betrayal.
I'm not trying to hear that right there.
Resoluting reparations to whom?
Lasting consequences.
All right, so now this is the question that all of us want to ask this guy. We can ask this guy. we're like, yo, okay, we hear you out. It sounds crazy, but are you asking for reparations? Like, that's what we're trying to see. So now the white man's going to ask that question. Listen to this.
Now, Isaac, the resolution calls for reparations for slavery. Are there any specifics on who should be paying reparations to whom?
Okay, so in the resolution, I was
Yeah,
actually
look at this dusty, fly-eating, fly-swatting dude start smiling when he heard reparations. Yo, look, he's serious right now until he hear reparations. This disgusting dude, like, dude, I don't fuck with you. Like, are you smiling for? We're not ancestors of each other.
Reparations to whom?
Look.
Are there any specifics on who should be paying reparations to whom?
Okay, so in the resolution, I was actually sent to the UN by the Ghanaian or the African team, I should say. The reparation, the demand is that it should be paid by countries that undertook this practice and countries that also benefited from it. So like you mentioned in your introduction, the US, of course, benefited. So they obviously should also partake in pain, and some European countries really who took part in this slavery a trade, they ought to pay the reparation. Now the question has been to whom, and of course that has been one of the
Right. That's what we want to know. Keep talking.
Key issues why some countries like the US or even, for example, the UK decided not to vote in favor. They, according to the team, they're not asking for money to be paid to African countries or governments. No, they're asking that they should be channeled into a fund that obviously helps to correct some of the imbalances that we've had in the current world.
You heard that? In a fund to correct the imbalance in the current world. He is saying exactly what Tariq Nasheed said. These guys are saying, we made a deal with these Europeans. We didn't look 500 years down the road. They did. We seen yesterday, they seen 500 years down the road. And we realized, damn, and we trying to get them back over here, call them Africans. They ain't coming back. They ain't falling for it. So they gave up trying to Africanize us. They like, all right, fuck it, yo. White people, y'all owe us some money because y'all got the better end of the deal, and that's not fair. Deals should be even. Deals should be fair, close, 60-40, 65-35, something like that. This deal was like 99-1, you dig? So they like, hey, man, y'all got to get us right. That ain't right. Y'all superpower, all this technology, world power, all this stuff, man. Just give us. Come on, man. Don't do us like this. That's what they said. Don't do us like this. Don't leave us like this, man. You guys are great because of what we helped you guys do. So help us back, man. That's fucked up what y'all doing with us right now. Leaving us out here to look like this before the world. That's what he just said.
Because of the slavery, and also to be able to ensure that people who really have been victims of this slavery can be able to heal again and be able to rebuild, get the tools, the skills they need to be economically empowered, so that we can bridge this disparity when it comes to economic fortunes across the world. So
you hear that? This disparity when it comes to fortunes across the world. I'm telling you, man, they like, yo, damn, we ain't know y'all was gonna be living like that after this trade. That ain't fair. That's not a fair trade.
That is really the model that they're trying to propose. They're not asking that the money is to be given to government, but they want it to go towards targeted campaigns that helps to correct some of the anomalies that has taken place because of the slavery.
And it sounds like that there would have to be a lot of discussions about exactly what those reparations would look like. Isaac, thanks so much for talking to us.
Thank you.
All right. So hold on. So now I want to, that's the other guy just talking mumble jumble. All right. This other guy. I want you to hear this other African tether. Damn. See if I can find it real fast. UN reparations. Oh, right here. Here we go. Got him.
It's a move towards justice, and here's the gravest crime in human person to promote
to affirm truth and pursue a route to healing and reparative justice. The adoption of this resolution serves as a safeguard against forgetting.
This resolution calls for formal global recognition of this, urges
now I want him to talk.
Towards healing.
Now, hold on.
Toronto youth poet.
Wait, I want him to talk. All right, hold on. Where's that guy? Africa because he was saying some slick stuff, man. Is it this guy? Not sure. One of these guys. I think it was the first guy, but let's see. Like, I heard this language they was using. Like, what? I think it was no. Is this one for sure? Is this one for sure?
Hello, colleagues of the media, friends, the distinguished Foreign Minister of Ghana.
Thank you. Our friends from the media, good afternoon. Today, the international community has taken a significant, considerate, and historic step forward by end the racialized chattel enslavement of Africans as the gravest crime against humanity.
All right, against Africans. Okay, he's gonna keep saying he's gonna keep saying Africans, all the way to America. Yes. Africans. Watch this.
Resolution A/80/L48. We have chosen remembrance over silence, dignity. We have advanced the cause of justice. Favor 123 member states of the United Nations, and only 3 voted for justice. And our ancestors, Africans, and all people of justice, and our ancestors, Africans, of African descent, are today
African descent,
that our humanity and our dignity have been restored. Let me, on behalf of the African group, express our profound appreciation to all member states who supported this resolution. We wish to thank those who engaged. We acknowledge that view by delegations that were not of this text is many and collective conversation for all member states. His Excellency, the Pan-Mark resolution of the past and our vision for the future. Today, through this resolution, the world has spoken with clarity and their racialized chattel enslavement is the gravest crime against humanity. A crime whose scale, structure, and enduring consequences demand recognition at the highest level of our shared global conscience so that we can move forward in healing and in preventing such a crime from ever happening again. The solution is not about apportioning blame across generations or nations. It is not about reopening old wounds. It is about ensuring that those wounds are neither forgotten nor denied. It is about creating space for truth, for education, and for a more honest global conversation that allows us to move forward together with greater understanding. History, as we know, is rarely simple. Its solution does not deny that complexity. It does not ignore the many within complexity defined by their scale. This is not to diminish any other history. Today helps all of us in our not silence, dialogue, so that differences in perspective become opportunities for understanding and to cooperation on reparatory justice, not as a narrow or transactional. Consider carefully the actions it must take to ensure it shaped our world must yield to a system that does not all way forward. Today, the world has chosen to remember with purpose. Of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, its effectiveness with the UN will eternally.
Notable among those that voted against the resolution was the United States.
That it takes 1.5 hours. We allocated 3 hours, twice manifesting in.
Anyway, this guy babbling. Just know that he kept saying Africans, him and others, Africans, never a Black American, not even an African American, no Negroes, no colors, just Africans, all the way until you get to 2026, right? So let's go right here. So let's get into the main one, then we'll go back to slavery. All right, so V4, you there?
I'm here.
All right, chat, y'all there? Check this out. So now, all right, so now we're gonna touch on John Rick Clark. Watch this.
Help shape Black history to date. In today's video, you are going to watch.
Now, where you think he from? By the way, V4. By the way, he talking. Well, what country you think he's from? Chat. Y'all can guess where he's from, what country?
This leader talk about Africans and the black people across the world and especially in United States. Let's watch.
Okay, so now you got an African playing John Henry Clark, right? I'm thinking like, because you would expect somebody from the Caribbean or America to play this guy. I'm like, why is an African playing John Henry Clark? Before I even watched the video.
You know how?
Hmm?
You know how?
What's that?
The Africans are now watching our stuff and they're picking up the information and who to go to, and then developing their talking points from it.
Yeah, of course.
He didn't know
All
nothing
right.
about no John Henry Clark.
Right. And now listen, now look, but you know, it's sickening because all of the African talking points, when they call them my spaces, Tariq spaces, and they're being disrespectful and revising history, you're gonna see they get it from this guy right here.
1787 in the United States, there had emerged.
Hey, what year was that? He said
1787.
Right. All right, hold on. So let's bookmark that for 1 second. Now he's a historian, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now this is for Lex. So this whole live is for him because he said this. I'm hating on him. I'm badgering him and I'm misrepresenting him. He's a historian and we gotta respect him. He's a prophet. All right. Well, we'll see. Okay. Oh, I'm picking and choosing and you know, oh, I'm not playing the video. Yo, when is Frederick Douglass? It's Frederick Douglass, right? When is he born? What did I say?
Born in 1895.
Nah, he died.
No,
Go
no,
ahead.
died. 1818, excuse me.
Okay, so 1818. And what year did John Henry Clark just say? He said 1787, right?
1787, I believe, yeah.
All right, so let's back up. So this for Lex. So now we see that. So 1818, I'm a baby. You dig? So at least 20 years. So at least 1838. You know, he a grown man. You feel me? So
yeah,
that's light years from 1787. Listen to this fool.
1787 in the United States, there had emerged in New England a small black elite. Frederick Douglass.
What?
What the hell he talking about, bro? What the hell is guy talking about?
Yo, he's talking about 10 years before, only 10 years after America was formally formed.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Damn. Yeah, what this guy? A black elites then?
Yo.
hey, yo, listen, man. But Lex gonna tell me he read so much because he was blind. What does that mean? He read a whole bunch of bullshit, didn't comprehend it. Like we got something called comprehension. You can read what you want to read, but do you understand what you just read? And you gotta articulate it. Okay. This dude says 1787, right? Like, yeah, I didn't even like do the math to that. Like, that's that damn America was just established. You dig?
America was a baby, he's only 10 years old.
And this dude said Frederick Douglass ain't even born yet. The elitist, this historian. That's why, like you said, historians don't take him seriously because he's not taken seriously. His research is shitty, and only Pan-Africans believe his research has some value. All right, let's go. Let's go a little further.
Stop the cap. Prince Hall, who started the Masons and called it the African Lodge.
Hey, what do you say here?
Prince Paul started the Masons, the African Masons, called it the African Lodge.
Right. He said, okay. So let's just talk about that.
Prince Hall, who started the Masons and called it the African Lodge.
Okay. Oh,
what?
Stop. Okay.
Stop the cap.
Hey, Lex, your man just lied. He just lied. He did not start no goddamn Masons. Okay, he founded Black Freemasonry in the U.S., specifically what became Prince Hall Masonry. Now, it says a historian should distinguish between Freemasonry generally and Black Masonic institutions specifically. But he left it out there as now this African booty scratcher is watching this video. He's going to repeat that in our spaces.
Yep. He started the Freemasons.
Yeah, what are you talking about, man? Just saying stupid shit.
Blacks had fought in the American Revolution.
Now he's so wrong. It's this I'm trying to say with Lex. He's so wrong. I believe he meant to say Civil War, but I could be wrong. But that's the problem. You have a guy who's wrong so often. We don't even know if he mean the right war.
Yeah.
Is this the Revolutionary War or the Civil War? Because what he says next, I'm not sure if this landed.
If it's a mistake or it's intentional.
Right. Because he does make mistakes. Listen to this. That's why I say got thrown in the trash. Yes, Lex got thrown in the garbage. He asked that yesterday. Yo, so throw everything away. Yes. Wait, hold on. Let me finish my plane. Let me land that plane. You cut right in. He asked the question. All these mistakes, should we throw them in the trash? Yes. Do we forget about them in history? No. We don't forget about Hitler either. That don't mean you're great. We don't forget about Garvey. But yes, throw it in the garbage because it's no good. You can't put this in the school. Go ahead.
I was going to say, even if they're just mistakes, the mistakes are so consistent and so big, they're the equivalent of a lie.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. At some point, yeah. When you make a mistake too often, at some point you're just a fool. You dig? You're just a fool. F up. They call you an F up after a while.
And not just mistakes that don't matter, mistakes that matter in a sense they can change the trajectory of things because they mean something to people.
Right.
Huge mistakes.
And nothing in life where you can make so many mistakes and you're seen as proficient. At some point,
there's a word they got for that.
F up. Out in the hood, we say you just become an F up.
In a professional field, they're going to call you an incompetent and demote you.
Yeah, right. Well, you'd be out of work. But I was going to say anything in life where you make some mistakes, you're not taken seriously anymore. Like if you're a coach, mistakes, you're no longer seen as a good coach. If you're a mechanic, mistakes, you're not a good mechanic. Like a doctor, you're getting sued. So everywhere in life, you make a bunch of mistakes. You're not seen as somebody that's their lane. You see, that's not your lane. You should try something else. You're flowering or gardening or preaching. But this historian stuff, this ain't for you. It's too many mistakes here, man.
And I got an alley-oop for you. And if he's a liar in the professional world, he'll be equivalent to somebody that's unethical and he will be fired.
Damn. All right. Listen to this fool.
Fought in the American.
And by the way, I made this video smaller because some stuff can be seen as like, well, and I was justified to play all the bullshit he said, but I narrowed it down to just the top, like something, but it could have been way longer. V4, he was so wrong. I had about 100 things.
Yeah.
But I narrowed it down.
Damn.
Bro, this guy is terrible. Because, okay, that ain't right. But then you'll say, oh, you just nitpicking. But it's still wrong, though. He's wrong. But you nitpick me, though. Oh, you wrong on the live. You wrong. You nitpick me, though. But this guy right here, who's a historian, who people base their whole livelihood on and how they look at life, this guy's lying and he's wrong. And he ain't shit. And he's a Pan-African. You dig? And they ain't shit anyway. All right.
Revolution began to demand fought in the American.
What? Stop the cap.
Now this part right here, he might. Huh? Yeah. No, I'm gonna play it back. This is why I thought he meant the Civil War, but whatever.
Blacks had fought in the American Revolution began to demand a little privileges based on that.
Now, I don't know about that. I know the Civil War for sure. We were in their ears. Lex said, Harry Tubman. I know
that fought there were some blacks that fought in the revolution.
I know that. But were they in the ear of the white generals demanding things.
I don't know nothing about that.
Right. That's what he just said. I'm focused. I know we were in the war. We were in all the wars. But I'm saying I know for a fact we were in the ears during the Civil War. That's why we got the 40 Mules, Freeman Barrow, all that type of stuff. Freeman Banks, Freeman Schools. But I want to know, what about in 1770s? Like we were in the ear of,
1776.
yeah, we were in the ears of the elite white people talking about what we want during when slavery was like popping. It's like, I don't know about that, man. But again, he's wrong so often. I gotta be like, yo, that might be another big mistake.
Blacks had grown tired of going into white churches and sitting on the side.
See, so how do you go from 1776 and then, so that's what I'm thinking, like, okay, he can't be talking about 1770s. This is the 18s. This is after the Civil War.
Yeah.
We we had the black churches. Look at this guy.
Or up in the buzzards rule, and they had challenged whites, and after the challenge, they found the independent black church, the African Methodist Episcopal Church.
Yeah, brother, that's Civil War time.
That's everything. Yo, that's everything. When what was his name? You was calling the Jamaican dude?
Garvey?
No, the one that you was always going back and forth with. That was coming on your site, on your channel.
Uncle Ruckus?
No, the Jamaican dude. What's his name? From New York.
Oh, Rob Moore? Stupid. They all from New York. Stupid.
He was they kept bringing up the African Episcopal Church. This is where they got this from.
Revenue. Right.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man. So Lex was completely wrong. I said, bro, all of their arguments come from this guy. When I watch this guy's stuff, I hear all of their talking points. And he tried to tell me that this ain't their leader. They don't get it from him. Like, dude, maybe you don't know your leader is what you think you do. Because if you got high reverence for this guy and you don't know their talking points coming from this guy, then you don't know John Rick Clark the way you think you do. Or you might not know him at all. You just faking. I don't know. But how you missed this? Everything he's saying, they've been saying. Rob Bourne, all these guys had to beat up. They're repeating this guy's work.
They didn't toy with this word Negro or colored. They didn't water it down.
Okay, now he's basing this off them naming a church something. Okay, now what I say is, because they name institutions after Africans, like this is where like these guys be lying. These Rob Bournes and Sean's, these guys, like they look at a church or institution, school being called African. And by the way, they were also calling stuff American too at the same time. Okay. So, but they'll make you believe that all these things were just called African. But look what I say. You might have called an institution African. They didn't call themselves African. When they spoke to each other, they still see themselves as Negroes and colored. And that's how they talk to themselves. They didn't see themselves as Africans. Hey, what's up, African? My African brother. That's not how they were talking. They named institutions like that. And they might have even seen themselves with African descent, but they did not look at themselves as an African from their motherland.
And here's what I would do to challenge something like that. You name that church, right? Then I would say, now start naming the rest of the churches that were already around. I guarantee you 99% of them didn't have the name African in it.
Of course. But this is why they only right. Because like you even got to name it. Like if this was the thing, you could say, man, the churches at that time was that you don't got to name one. You could just say churches. Man, the churches are all called African, bro. Damn near all of them. That's all you got to say. But the fact you got to name one or two, you know you're lying and you're misrepresenting. You're overstating something. But look at this African over here, eyes closed, all types of bullshit over here, voodoo, all into this.
With black tells you how you look, but it don't tell you water it down.
Now look. See, you're African, and you're not black. I've been saying that all the time, family. They call us African. Look, we say we black, they say we wrong. We say they're not black, they say they are. It's like, wait a minute. I thought nobody was black. I thought we all African. I say I'm black, before he says black, you say we're not black, we're African, nigga. Then I say, all right, well, you ain't black either. Oh, yes, I am. I'm black.
Now you
It's
back.
like, wait a minute. I thought we all just African niggas. So now look how he's shooting down black. And this is exactly how Kwame was representing black. Oh, just a color.
Yeah.
I had to cook him on that. But look what they do with black. They disrespect it and they uphold African. But this is Lex guy right here.
With black tells you how you look, but it don't tell you who you are.
You a goddamn lie.
A few moments later.
At this point in our history, we were not only longing for Africa.
You heard that? You ain't black. It don't tell you who you are. Instead, we're longing for Africa. Oh, Africa, please come save me. Oh my God, I want to go back. He's just flat out lying, yo.
What if he was?
Nobody was doing that.
Yeah, he's bugging. He's bugging because there's ample brothers and sisters from the time period that he studied and talking about that basically put the information out today. We ain't no Africans.
Right. Oh yeah. Yeah. Look, we cooked on that. Tariq cooked on that. Nobody was doing that because they knew when you said that deportation was right around the corner. Right at that time, you were going to have a free trip to Liberia. You start talking about how African you are. A word? Wait, say that again, nigga. I'm African. Hey, get him. Take his ass to Liberia. You go back to Africa.
Here's another observation. You go from that time into now. The American government has never argued that we're African.
Right.
They left that for us to decide, but they never said you guys are African.
Yeah, they let us name ourselves. But for those cosplayers at that time, that pump fake, I'm African. All right, let's go. Psych. I'm just cap. I'm just playing. Now this clown right here, this fake historian, this booty scratch right here. This guy mentioned Martin Delaney. That's why I want Lex on here. Because I want to challenge if Lex even know this history right here, like all these guys, because this is my shit right here. This is my lane. All right. So I want to know if he even know what he's talking about. Because he started to name drop Martin Robinson Delaney. That's what he said. And this is Lex man. I want to know if Lex know about him and what he did. Because I'm telling you right now, he lied about Martin Delaney. I think that part I didn't play because it was so much. But Martin Delaney was talking that back to African shit, right? And he took his stank ass to Africa, and guess what? He came right back and died a great American. My man fought in the Civil War and everything. He seen Africa like, oh hell no.
Hell no.
He came right back over here and died a proud American.
He went over there and seen them huge ass brontosaurus flies.
Those big old double-decker mud cakes. He's like, nah, I'm out.
He seen 30 motherfuckers die of malaria. He said, oh hell no, I'm out of here.
They can see how he was taught to skin a dog. Like, nah, I'm good.
He seen somebody add him some monkey knuckles.
Oh yeah. Hyena, what do you call hyena nuggets? He's like, nah, I'm good. All right, listen.
Thoughts about return. In our history, we were not only longing for Africa, we were having thoughts about return 100 years before Marcus Garvey was born.
What?
Stop.
No, and then he threw it.
Stop the cap.
Hey, bro, this is his great historian. Now, Lex ready to crash out over me, a real FBA stand on 10 for a guy who hates the thought of a proud Black American, a foundation Black American. This guy is Africa, and FBA is willing to trade on their brothers for people who love Africa. Like, yo, what are we doing here? Like, that's not on. Yeah, of course he's lying.
For the return of Africa, what is he talking about? Listen, the fact that what was that society you said you called it again?
The shoot, you gotta.
That was in Liberia trying to get people to go back to Africa.
Oh, the ACS.
if what he just said out of his mouth was true, the ACS would have been successful and that project would have flourished.
Hey, yo, 3% of the population made it to Liberia.
That's crazy.
3%.
We were long
So now look, yeah, bro, these are free trips. And only free. They only got 3% to go of people who are longing. Oh, Africa, you have forsaken me.
No, you're wrong. Have you ever put in ChatGPT something to the effect who and what were the arguments or stances against repatriation to Africa?
Of course I did. And this is why of course. And this is why I throw the bait out there, because Rob Bourne, like, he thought I ain't know this stuff, and he tried to call me on his. Oh, bro, it's there. You can look in his title, and he questioned me on the spot. Got your questions. I answered all of them correctly. Like the dude never got me. He was trying to give me I answered it. Okay. Yeah, dude, you got the right one.
But you know what?
You got the right one.
Tell you, you know how I am. I can see something inside something. For him to want to see that of you, or if you know, only tells me he's dealing with devilishment too. Because that means he knows the truth, but he's arguing against it. And if you didn't know, he would have felt he had you, and his lies would have stood as truth.
Right.
Periods, right?
Right.
So he's practicing devilishment.
1780.
All right. So now, shoot. Hold on. Why I can't see? Yeah, exactly. And I said, bro, why? And look, because we spoke on Facebook. Like, he was so scared to be recorded again. He called me from Facebook. Like, Rob Bourne. Yeah, these guys are, but Sean, these guys, they worship these clowns. This guy calls me from, like, he didn't want to go online no more and be recorded. He called me from Facebook. We had like a 40-minute hour talk. I'm like, dude, why? Oh no, I want to just, Unc did the same thing. I don't think, I know African sodas on the phone. Because he wanted me to, like, make that video private, and I did.
Okay.
He said, I would never say that. He said, I don't believe that. He said, we had no, man, Dr. Maya, she been explained that. So I was like, oh, okay. And then I made it, like, private. Then I heard him talk the same talk. I said, nah. I made it back public again. Then I put him on blast a few times. But yeah, man, all those guys are very dealing with deception, man.
Yeah.
The African Lodge in the early African societies.
Private.
The first Masonic order found by a man from Barbados.
Okay, and he kept doing that. He kept showing this man's from Jamaica, Barbados. He kept doing that the entire live. It was so video, not live. It was so he kept trying to point out all these non-FBAs who were around during the, like, late 1800s, building a church or some type of institution. He kept doing that the whole, this person Barbados, this person Jamaica, and then lying too. This person.
Okay, but if I hear that, I'm going to say, well, you're giving testimony of they were trying to tether back then. Coming over here feeding, you know what I'm saying? They're tethering back then, and then and they got the same thread goes from there to back, from then to now, where they want to feed foreign bullshit to us. Oh, we're African. That's because they're African.
Wait, so is the part right here? Yeah, they're African. Like, matter of fact, this guy right here watching. Okay, now listen to what we're listening to. We're listening to this nigga lying, right? But now look at the guy, the actual African. He is enjoying this video. Everything, yo. That's why they call in our spaces so bravely. Like, you're God worship scholar has told you everything's Africa. Tariq, who the hell you think you are to go against John Clark? That's exactly how Lex was arguing the other day. Who we think we are to have a difference in opinion than these guys who are flat out lying. No, throw him in the garbage. Anybody who thinks he's worth a damn. Throw everybody in the garbage whoever stands this fool. And it gets worse.
Lex was so upset. It was like, he was like, you committed blasphemy when you called Charles every fucking liar. It was like, you're a heretic.
Yo, listen, man. Listen, that's what my name's unbiased. I'm not gonna kiss nobody ass. Now look, John Clark. Now look. You see, I don't even come at the Ben, Dr. Ben, right? I don't even got no videos about Dr. Ben. I'm not saying he's thorough. He just ain't been blatant like this guy. Dig? Like this guy, look, when you know you ain't shit when an African is like in love with what you're saying. This is a tether, by the way.
Yeah.
This guy hates FBA, but he got his eyes closed. Yeah, he's in love with this shit right here, man. This is music. This clown right here, man. And I put the link in the chat. I want anybody to defend this right here. All right, you can fall for this bait you want. I want anybody to defend this foolishness right here.
He look like
I'm fishing. Yeah, I went fishing right now. I'm fishing. This is bait. This is light work, right? You see, I did the Sean. I threw Sean in there. I threw Sean wasn't part of the show, but his man was in the chat, so I threw Sean in there. Dumbass didn't know white folks produce albinos.
What?
But these guys want to debate. Yeah, but he want to debate me. Like,
wow.
Well, no, he don't want to debate me. His people think he wants to debate me, but he already said no in my face when I called him out. Said no, but we're gonna talk about that albino thing before we talk about anything else. We're gonna get that right. Okay, we're gonna get that right. I'm gonna play it again before we end it, close out. These guys, all this information online, and you don't know that.
Dr. Ben was African. I'm sorry again. No, somebody in the chat said, Claude, I really thought Dr. Ben was suspect Caribbean or African. He is African, or was.
Yeah, so I wouldn't trust none of those guys. Right now Ben's not on my radar, but who knows, in a few months or whatever, I might cook on him. Yeah. But so far he's not on my radar.
You are deceiving people.
What you got then that you don't have now? Caribbean people and African American people working side by side. No one is.
I told you. Now look, I want to point out.
What are he talking about?
Yeah, it's stupid. Like, okay, so earlier he pointed out that the guy that founded Prince Hall, he said he was from Barbados, right? Let's look that up. Let's look that up. And matter of fact, if I need to go back, I'll go back. But trust me, he said that. He said he's from the Barbados. Hold on.
Yeah, I heard him say that, from Barbados. Yeah. Okay. He said Prince Hall was from Barbados.
Right there. So he says right here, 738 Bridgetown, Barbados, 1807. All right, let's click this right here. He was an American abolitionist and leader in the free black community. They don't say free African. Free black community in Boston. He founded Prince Hall Freemasonry and lobbied for education rights for African American children. He was also active in the Back to Africa movement. So it looks like they only care about who is part of that, and they just focus on those people the most.
Yeah.
Okay, now watch this. Look. You heard what he said. He's from Barbados. Hall was born, and that's a historian. Hall was born between 1735 and 1738. His place of birth and parents are also unclear. Now, let's get back to this liar, Lex. This is your guy. This is Lex. You're gonna catch these hands. Hold on.
It's calling you. I will have it tell you how you look, but it don't tell you who you are.
Let's put it right here.
A few moments later.
At this point in our history, we were not only longing for Africa, we were having thoughts about return 100 years before Marcus Garvey was born.
What? Stop the cap.
It says that Hall. It says Hall in Hall's writings. He said he was from New England.
Yeah, I see that part in Wiki. Right. But I want to get to what he said about him as a historian. Okay? Because he's a historian. And Lex said we should trust this guy.
The first Masonic order found by a man from Barbados, Prince Hall.
You are deceiving people.
What you got then that you don't have now? Caribbean people, people.
Okay, so you heard that. So now he's lying to show this mixed melting pot of Caribbean people. And notice look, family, there's another pattern you gotta listen to right now. I'm gonna tell you. All of these Pan-Africans, they'll never call us black. They'll always call us African American, but they won't hesitate to call an African black though. They won't hesitate to call somebody from the Caribbean black, but they will never call you black. You will always be called African American. So I want y'all to listen to Sarasu and Seti. Listen to all of the Pan-Africans. Maybe not Umar, but Sarasu and Seti, Dr. Mayat, Reggie, all those guys as Pan-Africans. Professor Grift, all these guys going to say, when they talk about you and your ancestors, they're going to always say African American because this shithole right here. Because of him.
I don't know. There was something else in there that he said. I think he lied about.
What was that?
I think it was something else in there. He lied about. Like he said Africans and Black Americans working side by side as if.
I'm doing that right now. I'm doing that right now. All right, hold on.
Order found by man from Barbados.
Okay, so he just lied and said this guy Hall was from Barbados, and you just hit on it. Hall was born between 1735 and 1738. His place of birth and parents are also unclear, but this piece of shit historian said to Barbados. It says Hall mentioned in his writings that New England was his homeland. Where you get Barbados from? But he said it as a fact. So now this is a historian. This is the great historian. This is Lex, great historian. So we got to believe him. So Hall is from Barbados, right?
Yeah.
So then I bet you we ask these weirdos that's Pan-African, where's Hall from? They're gonna all say Barbados. I guarantee you, because this liar, everything starts with their liar, their father, who's the father of lies.
Yeah.
All right, watch this. Watch this.
Prince Hall.
You are deceiving people.
What you got then that you don't have now. Caribbean people and African American people working hand and side by side. No one is calling each other any names. But they realized something then you don't realize now. That the slave ship brought no West Indians, brought no Black Americans, brought no Jamaicans.
They only brought who?
And because they were all African people, they had a common.
Hey, bro, all African people. When I played earlier about the Ghanaians trying to do reparations, they kept saying we were Africans. I said, Lex, I said he is the reason why the Ghanaians are trying to hijack reparations now. They're saying we're all Africans because this shithole said it first as a historian. Not as unbiased Ron, just a YouTube journalist. He said it as a historian that you take seriously. You say he's the best out there. Nobody says unbiased Ron the best out there, even though I might be, but nobody says that. They say he is. So he can't be wrong. When you're a public figure, scrutiny upon you is harder than the public, the masses. That's even in the Bible. Like, you can't take a leadership role and make these mistakes right here. He said we were all African.
He's bugging.
In America. Now this is after the ethnogenesis, during the ethnogenesis, we're just African, right?
He's bugging.
Man, what is the word?
Hold on, was it him? It was. Yeah.
No, go ahead.
It was somebody who just gave some recent numbers about 6 million Africans being taken to Brazil and 2 million Africans being taken to Jamaica, and approximately 500,000 being brought to the Americas. Like, even if you accept the number of 500,000, that still doesn't produce 50 million people. That doesn't produce that.
Americans.
And then not even just that. All three groups. Like, look at the Brazilians, right? They're themselves and others. Most of the Africans from the transatlantic slave trade were taken to Brazil. The large majority. They have a completely different identity and culture from where they started out in Africa. and nobody's trying to call him African.
Right.
Nobody call him African
at all. Right. But us, we're African. And what? Like this agent right here. Look.
People. Now, in this atmosphere, 1917, in the red summer of 1919, riots all over the country, burning blacks down. Now can you see why it was easy for Marcus Garvey to create the atmosphere and to add to the atmosphere of return, because the country had rejected us, and he was telling us there is a land that is yours.
Stop the cap.
The American promise wasn't made to you. The American dream wasn't dreamed for you. I will make you a new promise.
What?
I will give you a new dream, and I will give you a new land. That's how.
A new dream.
That's Africa. Now, Lex, come on, dude. Now, Lex, either now it's on you now. You either got to flat out say he ain't shit, or dude, you got an agenda.
Facts.
All right. Yeah, because now I'm looking at you differently now. Like, wait a minute, this dude is Africa. We're Africa. We're Africa. Everything we fight against every day. And we supposed to respect this guy. It's like, wait a minute, maybe you are still a Pan-African. Yeah, so nobody ever should come for me when I got research and I give some shit. Just listen. All right. If y'all not ready to tangle, don't be coming on the line trying to say I'm wrong, and you better have some facts and receipts. Now, what you got to do is go back and say, show us something different. Show them saying, no, we're proud Black Americans, you dig? Or you, that's an L for you, my guy, not me. He tried to say, because I admitted one thing. No, that was a small, tiny battle. I win the war. Your prophet is trash. I would never be that horrible of a researcher to conclude somebody is good and worthy of praise, revere, reverence, and they talking like this. Then he's representing Marcus Garvey, who we all know is a goddamn scammer, piece of shit, a nothing burger.
Yeah. I haven't heard any of these Pan-Africans yet that when you challenge them with his scamming activities, that just clearly and straight out admit that he scammed.
Now look, a few of them had like even Rob Bourne, like at some point he finally agreed, but they all fight at first. Even like right now, revenue. I broke revenue, not Tariq, not nobody. I made revenue say this dude's a liar and scammer.
Who? John Henry Clark?
Well, so recently he said John Henry Clark was a liar. So I got revenue on record to say John Henry Clark is a liar and Marcus Garvey is a scammer. I did that.
He said he admitted that?
Yes.
How I missed that? Oh my God.
And he'll do it again. If he come back on, he'll do it again.
You got him to admit Marcus Garvey was a scammer?
Yep. And this guy right here is a liar.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, but Tariq's a scammer. But Tariq's a liar. That's where you're gonna go. It's like, wait. Your man right here is a scammer and liar. This is Lex man too. Cause Lex was gonna kill me over this guy.
Yo, Lex got mad, yo.
Now look. Hey, now look, I'm gonna make a poll in the chat. So far, what y'all hearing, is this guy for FBAs? Put this in the chat.
No, he's for everybody else.
Yeah. He's for the world. No, he's for the streets.
He's for everybody else.
Yeah, my man for the streets. All right, I'm gonna put a poll.
Didn't he pass away? None of the Pan-Africanists came to his aid and helped
Man, I think Tariq somebody bought his damn funeral. It's always an FBA guy who they hate to take care of their leaders and shit.
Yeah, because he was toe up, and none of the Pan-Africans helped him.
Yeah, so Lex gonna need to really address this right here, man. Because see, when something's done publicly, it gotta finish publicly. It can't be call me on the phone like, yeah, I was wrong. Nah. You said I was wrong publicly. So now you gotta admit I was right publicly. You were wrong publicly about this guy. But we're gonna let you funny, my guy, because he's saying some crazy shit right now against the lineage. All right, hold on. Let me create this poll. All right. I want to word it right because sometimes when you read the poll wrong, they could answer a certain way. It's because you asked it wrong. Okay, I'm gonna say, is John Ray Clark how should I put this question? A good historian. A good.
What are you trying to exactly ask?
About his character and everything, about him being a historian.
Mm. Yeah, I don't know how you put that together.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go soft first. I'm gonna say, is John Henry Clark a good historian? So based off what I'm revealing today,
That
that's
can
the
go in
poll right
different
there.
directions, though. That's going to be too
Right.
easy.
But, yeah, but I want to be soft, and then I'll see how it goes. Then I'll be more specific a little later. So right now they're hearing the evidence, and don't forget we ain't do the slavery one yet.
Yeah.
Now, in this atmosphere, 1917, in the red summer of 1919, riots all over the country, burning blacks down. Now can you see why it was easy for Marcus Garvey to create the atmosphere and to add to the atmosphere?
And now, by the way, family, there was thousands of black leaders out there with activism, and he's talking so he's pretending that we're the African booty scratchers. We're sitting around doing nothing, waiting for a Jamaican to come to America to tell us, "I got the solution. Pack your bags. You're going to Africa."
Yeah.
Like,
that's why I said that's why I said he kind of put it out there falsely that Americans and Caribbeans working together hand in hand. And that delivers a false idea that Caribbeans at that time were over here by the boatload.
Right. Yeah. This country, the foundation shit. You got Caribbean, you got C Caribbean Foundation Americans.
Yeah,
You dig? Foundation of Caribbean is FCA. You dig?
This guy's lying.
This guy.
A return because the country had rejected us, and he was telling us there is a land that is yours. He said the American promise wasn't made to you. The American dream wasn't dreamed for you. I will make you a new promise. I will give you a new dream.
Okay, so now this guy, this Jamaican fat big back guy, is going to give us a new promise, and he's going to do something for us that he didn't deliver. Look, he don't have no track record. He didn't do something in Jamaica and come over here. No, he did. He failed in Jamaica, but he's going to give Black Americans who accomplished so much at this time. So of course, W. Du Bois, I think Richard Owens' his name. You got A. Philip Randolph. Of course, they saying like, who this weirdo? This charlatan.
He don't have no wins.
Zero.
No wins.
So why? So now, look. What you're saying is true. What I'm saying is true. In the chat, know it. Why would a historian put his reputation and credibility in the line to pretend this guy had wins?
Yo.
I'm like, hey, this dude low key. This is agent talk right here. This is agenda driven for sure.
Crazy, yo. No wins. None.
And a historian is out there stamping this guy.
It's crazy.
That's like somebody stamping Myron Gaines. Like, nah, yo. Myron Gaines is like a modern Garvey type nigga. Like, you stamp him, we know you ain't shit. So this guy's stamping the guy who scammed us. Yo, you can't make this up, man. Like, Marcus Garvey was our Madoff.
Oh yeah. He made off like Madoff.
Yeah, he was our version of their white man's Madoff, Bernie Madoff. He was our version of Madoff, yo. He scammed so many thousands of Black people and then ran off and got deported.
Yep.
Delivered on nothing. Nothing he ever promised us, he delivered on because he couldn't deliver. Because whatever he was proposing, that was never the solution. We had solutions in play. Booker T. Washington. People were already doing great things, man.
And then our elites that were in the fight looked at him as a charlatan and a liar anyway.
Yeah.
This guy ain't got nothing going
They
on.
all called him that when he first came on. But no,
Yeah.
when he first came, they took him a little seriously. You know, because he was talking some good talk, some Booker T. Washington. So people took him seriously until they started to see him selling stocks. It's okay, he ain't shit. Who the hell sells stocks for a revolution, a rebellion? You know what I mean? You selling stocks, my guy?
Yeah.
Like,
selling stocks.
Who thinks of
Big
that but a
stocks.
scammer? That's some Jay Morrison. That's some Umar types. That's something a scammer would think to do.
But here's the thing: just like they say, just like in the Bible when they say you could tell a tree by a fruit it bears. Think about it. From then all the way till now, they're involved with scamming.
Right. Yeah,
They're
since the
involved
beginning.
with scamming.
God damn.
From then till now, that's been their culture.
Yeah, you got to
I was
stop,
just
man.
watching. Yo, listen. I was watching O.J. Duke Jackson earlier, and he was just blowing up a couple of Back to Africa, Pan-African who's supposed to show you how to maneuver and repatriate back to Africa and do business. And he was blowing them up like they're going to scam you.
God.
This is what they're going to do.
Right. Oh my God.
Their
19 keys, a
culture.
little, 19 keys, little coffee bean scam.
Yeah.
The Ben X's and all these guys, man. No, 19 keys and no.
What happened to Ben X? I ain't seen him online in a minute. But
Now to be honest, like I think he finally found his lane. Like he's into like a little film a little bit. He got some interesting films. Yeah, I think he just was a young kid, just being misguided by people like this guy right here, and it looks like he finally found like something for himself. He found his lane. He stopped trying to. At one point, he's trying to be Rizza Islam.
Okay,
like, you know what I mean. He's kind of like jealous, whatever. But it looks like he found his lane, and he's pretty good at where he's at now. I've seen him. He's doing okay for himself.
That's cool. But
he
yeah,
found a lane.
Hopefully that I'm glad he found a lane and he ain't have to fall into the scam.
Yeah. No, he got saved.
He got saved
because he was headed that way, man. But I give him credit though. The dude called in Pocket Watcher, and the Pocket Watcher told him to his face, "You scamming. You part of a scam."
Word?
Yeah.
He was about to get him.
Oh my God, bro. Yo, listen, he took it well, man. He took it well. Yo, he told him right in his face, "Dude, you part of a scam, man." He like, yo, that don't make sense. He like, that don't make sense to you. You did this and did that and did that. Yo, he broke it all down to his ass. He like, yo, you don't see that's a scam? Yo, oh my God, he cooked him. But yeah, man, yeah, he got him. He took it well, and yeah, I don't recall him like getting back into that after that. I think he like, damn, bro, I'm about to lose everything I work hard for.
From Marcus Garvey till now, 2026, they've maintained a steady culture of scamming.
That's crazy. And the two prominent leaders are like the two alleged for Umar, but Garvey for sure is scammer. Umar is still like the two biggest leaders are looked at as scammers.
Listen, man,
that's crazy.
They just showed a video where they caught Umar in the scamming position where, in one interview, he had said he had raised up to $750,000. In a video shortly after that, he said they only had 500,000. What happened to the other 250?
Oh my God.
Yeah, they're like, yo, this guy.
Umar, like most of us know, you'll never see a school. A functional operating school with teachers and students, with him doing what he said he's gonna do, you're never gonna see that.
Now,
like he knows it. Everybody knows it. You're never gonna see
it. And you know, it's another telltale of the scammer we got to watch out for. They're quick to try to do an about face and come up with another play. So Umar Johnson's first play was the school, right?
Yeah,
that was his first play. What's the current play? start his
Umar?
movement, the Die-Fi movement.
Oh my god.
The
The Daffodil
Die-Fi
Duck.
movement. The Die-Fi, yo, you wrote that. I was like, oh man. I said, what Ron do?
Hey, yeah, nah, yo, that won't get no legs. Hey, bro, that would get no legs. That would grow no legs. No, well, he might get a couple Africans into that, but nobody from
Yeah.
America is gonna
But just the fact that he's trying to pivot. He's trying to pivot into something
Hey,
that
bro,
can
but
go.
I
Yo,
had already said that in the summertime last year. I
okay.
said family. I said family. I believe his next play, he's gonna try to be the leader of a lineage. I said I believe, and I said that. My chat knows I said that. They was like, you crazy. I said, nah. I said I could see him saying, you know what? Since there's no leader, I'll be the leader. You dig?
Yeah,
Try to
yeah.
get a bunch of people to roll with him. Yeah. And look, he's there. He's there. So I said that family, I predicted that way back in the summer of last year when I was in Georgia. I said, don't be surprised if he don't start saying he's the leader of a lineage. Here you are. Here we are. He's the leader of DAFA.
Scary ass war. And then they refuse to condemn him too.
Yeah. All right. Let's finish this one out.
Yeah.
That's all. During the same time,
Back it up.
wasn't dreamed for you.
Back it up. Get the context.
Because the country had rejected us, and he was telling us there is a land.
He's talking about Garvey.
Yours. He said the American promise wasn't made to you. The American dream wasn't dreamed for you. I will make you a new promise. I will give you a new dream, and I will give you a new land. That's Africa. During the same time, he would petition Liberia, that sick nation that rejected him and would have been a better nation had.
Now look, I tell these Pan-Africans all the time, like, hey man, you know Liberia said no to him, and they don't believe me. And I had to like source up. Now I'm just play this clip right here. Like, hey, look, I'm just gonna clip this. Like, hey, your God said like Liberia rejected Garvey. So I don't gotta do all the research no more to show him. I just play this clip right here. Here's your God saying Liberia rejected the guy. Now, what's interesting is that he don't talk about, I'm talking about hey, V4 and chat. I watched all of his Marcus Garvey videos. You know, I'm a Marcus Garveyologist. I got to. He never talked about the stock sales and him scamming Black Americans. Never. This piece of shit right here. He never talked about Garvey scamming us. He just make up excuses for why Garvey failed.
Wow.
This guy, he never talked about the scams that he did to Black Americans. He'll go as far as talk about the court, which you're gonna do is right here, but the trial. But he won't talk about the scams, the lying, the deception, the charlatan he did to Black Americans. He never talked about that. But somehow he's a historian that we should respect.
Scam, man.
He petitioned them for settlement. 1920. They did not tell him then that they wasn't going to permit him because these stooges of America. They
did tell him that. They did. He's lying. They told him like, Kick Rock, stop trying, bro. You're not coming over here. They did tell him.
Who hadn't changed to this day, lied to Marcus Garvey. And someone think that because Du Bois had a fake position, plenipotentiary.
Okay, so let me tell you where he's going now. So it was always rumored, especially during Pan-African circles, and I got Umar on record saying the same shit. So to confirm what I'm saying, it was always popular for Pan-African circles to say W. Du Bois sabotaged Garvey for his goal to Liberia. Now, you know he turned Pan-African later. So now that he died of Pan-African, now this guy wants to now clear W. Du Bois from those rumors of sabotaging Garvey from this whole Liberia dream. All right. So now this is his attempt to clear Du Bois' name because he's a Pan-African. It's like these guys are crazy, man. They just make up shit. Look.
The Du Bois had some power. Du Bois had no power.
Now, he's talking about the power to tell Liberia to say no to Marcus Garvey. He's saying political power in Liberia. He didn't have no power. He's saying those are rumors. W. Du Bois is a good guy. He wasn't against Garvey like that.
I think we need to be honest with ourselves. I think we charge Du Bois with a whole lot that he's guilty of.
See?
He said some unfortunate things about Marcus Garvey and later lived to take it back, took it back on several occasions. And he did something most of you haven't done. You haven't admitted when you were wrong.
Neither have you, and so far, neither have Lex. And neither have Lex so far, all right? So let's go. Now, I'm on him because he gave me a hard time yesterday, and I didn't really want to go into it like that because I knew what I was going to do the next day. I said, all right. I after he got me, like, got all crazy, I said, all right, I'm going to just cook your man. That's all. So I so all day today, I just been putting this video together, yo. This is an hour some change video. So that I only got 8 minutes of it, or 9 minutes, because it took that long. Because you got to really like fact check and make sure I'm not wrong when I go live. I got to make sure what I'm saying is right.
Yeah.
Now, in 1923, Marcus Garvey is in difficulty with the steamship lines.
Okay, so now so you think he's gonna talk about stocks now? He's in difficulty with the steamship line. That is a nice, generous way to put it.
Yep.
Yeah, this is called a history revisionist. He's no different than whatever you say about the white man, whitewashing history. He is African washing history right now. He's pretending, making excuses for all the failures of failures.
The different trials, this would go on. Marcus Garvey would commit some serious errors.
Now, he won't go into none of them. And the serious errors were scamming Black Americans.
He would dismiss his lawyer and be his own lawyer.
He would dismiss his lawyer and do his own lawyer. By the way, before I did a whole video to that, I did a whole video covering the court case, covering, his defense.
Wow.
Okay. So now he fired a Black American lawyer who was like Johnny Cochran at that time. He fired him to represent himself. And what he did as a defense, he just literally tried to sell stocks in court. Like he tried to sell the dream in court. He didn't argue his case. So white folks, like the state is laughing. So like they like he has no rebuttal. Like he's his own lawyer, and he's trying to sell his stocks. So they're like, "Are you done?" Then they be like, "All right, well, listen." They go back to cross-examine this guy. So he has never cross-examined. He tried to cross-examine one witness, but can you imagine how easy it is for the prosecution team to let you just ramble? And he literally was preaching, family. He was, look it up. He was preaching in court. He wasn't arguing against why he's innocent. He was preaching. And every time he was done, they was like, all right, back to cross-examination. And they pulled out so much information out of this guy, like that was criminating. And that's how he got cooked, man. His dumbass ain't spent none of that time defending himself.
And he would lose his own case. There's much more to it than that. Marcus Garvey was not guilty as charged.
Are you serious? He was found guilty. But again, he's a historian. If he says it, it must be true.
This is why I'm against the idea of pardoning Marcus Garvey. To pardon him indicate that he was guilty, and you're asking people to forgive the guilt. I'm for the vindication of Marcus Garvey because he wasn't guilty in the first place.
What? Stop the cap.
The Europeans created the nation state with its tight borders and its selfishness. The African had the territorial.
So he ended on Garvey, And now he's going to start lying about Africa, how great Africa was and is. All right. So that's where he's going now. Like this lecture, he was all over the place. Like he is in most of his lectures. I don't know if y'all ever watched a John Henry Clark lecture, but it's the most stupid lectures on earth. He's never on topic. He's all over the place. He tells stories. He's a fake comedian. He try to get you to laugh. He be all over the place. Like, dude, can you stay on topic, man? Stick to, the YNs be like, yo, can you stick to the prompt? those TikTok YNs, hey, yo, John Henry Clark, can you stick to the prompt? All over the place. Now he went from Garvey, now he's talking about how great Africa is again. Listen.
Selfishness. The nation state with its tight borders and its selfishness. The African had the territorial state, where a multiplicity of cultures existed within one border with respect for all. And they did not begin a conflict one to the other until the European came and created that conflict.
No. Oh my God!
Wait a minute. Who are you?
So family, he just said Africans were living a kumbaya life until Europeans came to Europe and started to turn Africans against Africans. He just said that Africans were one. They were one. They were on code, basically. 54 countries were on code, speaking the same language, same religion, same dances, same hip-hop artists, all this shit going on until the European came and divided them up. This is supposed to be a credible historian saying this wild, stupid stuff.
So-called created that conflict.
No. Oh my God!
Within one border with respect for all. And they did not begin a conflict one to the other until the European came and created that conflict.
No. Oh my God!
Wait a minute. Who are you?
Okay, this scholar is a piece of shit. Africa certainly had wars before the European. Like what are we doing? We just covered that yesterday with George Macon. So we just lying. Now we just lying. Forget about twisting the truth, a little bit of truth, a little bit of falsehood. Now we're just absolutely lying. They had wars, they had rivalries, they had state expansion, they had slave raiding, they had conquests, and they had like other interpolity conflict way before the white tea man had came to Africa. Way before. The white tea man often he incentivized like more conflict, but make no mistake, they were already divided, xenophobic, all that stuff with each other way before a white tea man.
So-called tribal wars did not start in Africa until the coming of the Europeans, when he would put one against the other in order to conquer both. Every person that came into Africa did Africa a disservice. An interview on WNYC. I was saying that the Arab slave trade started 1,000 years before the European slave trade. And that it drained Africa of so much time and energy and organization, the Africa did not have the organization and the energy to successfully resist the European slave trade.
Yeah, all he's doing is just explaining why Garvey failed and was a loser and why Africa got defeated, entered the slave trade and got the raw end of the deal. That's all he doing. Like, this guy can't be truthful at all. Like, he made it very clear. His goal was to just promote Pan-Africanism wherever he can. And it's like he just Googled like Pan-African of like the early 1900s and shit and started like, let me research them. This guy said, I'm like, should I respond to that? There were long running trans-Saharan. This is what George Macon talked about yesterday. Trans-Saharan slave trade and the Indian Ocean slave trade. Indian Ocean. When I say Indian Ocean, think of the conversation Tariq Nasheed had with that tether, and they were talking about Tipu too. And when he had to concede, that is Indian Ocean. Temple 2, whatever his name is, Temple 2. Tipu 2. That guy, that slave trader, he was around the Indian Ocean. That is the trans-Saharan slave trade around the Indian Ocean. The Tipu 2 guy Tariq was talking about with that tether. That was long before a white man coming to do a deal, a joint venture with Africans, a multi-membership LLC, an LLP, all these great business entities the white man got into with the Africans. Tipu 2 and other folks had already started doing the trans-Saharan slave trade way before that. So, this guy, John Clark, and other tethers that or approximately tethers, what they like to do is reduce and minimize Africa and just overly blame the white man and the Arabs. That's all they do. Africa just a big punk, and everybody just came over there and just kicked their ass.
What? Stop the cap.
We need to look at Southern Africa. We need to look at the whole frontline states. We need to look at the fact that no African came to power in Angola. And one of the reasons why a faker, a sellout, a stooge of the FBI like Zavimbe could get so much play is that he's disguised as a nationalist. He looks like the people, he walks among the people, and they see him, they touch him. But those assimilators who took over power are mostly half Portuguese, where Portuguese clothes belong to the Catholic Church, and most of them got Portuguese wives. They don't relate to the people.
Family, that's him appealing to emotions. All right. That's a logical fallacy. He's talking about a purity test. Who's mixed with what percentage of blood, all that stuff. That's foolishness. Now, from what I know, when it comes to that, a real historian don't do a purity test like him. A real historian don't just say, hey, these people were mixed, so they didn't care about the people of Angola. That's not how that works. You're supposed to consider the Creole elites, the class structure, the Cold War intervention, the Cuban role at the time, South African role at the time, U.S. role, Soviet role, and post-colonial state formation. You look at everything as a historian. Now, as a regular guy like me and you, yeah, you could say the purity test thing. Oh, these guys were mixed. No, but not as a supposed historian. You got to look at it all. Like how Unc tell you, you can't just say African when he just say European, by the way. He don't go into the European nation. He just say European. So, and then they say African too. So, I caught him. He told me that dumb shit. You can't say African, but I caught him saying African. But you could though, right? You don't got to be specific, right? You could just say African. And when it comes to Black Americans, you just call us African. You're not specific. What tribe? You told us that we can't say African when we say African soldiers. We got to be specific. But you can just call Black Americans African without being specific. That doesn't work, man. And that's what I do. I call them guys out on their double standards.
So the people never came to power in Angola. But you had these kind of sharing governments in Africa before. You had them before Europeans wore shoes or lived in a house that had a window. The African didn't call it socialism or communism. The Africans just lived it out. And there was no starvation and no war.
Stop the cap.
You are deceiving people.
No starvation, no war, no flies, no bushmeat, no diseases, no malaria. No, it's just milk and honey, and lions were playing with gazelles. Like that's he might as well just went all the way lying. You know what I mean? Like, why even do halfway lies? Just say lions at that time, before lions didn't eat gazelles before the white man. Lions didn't chase wild buffaloes. Hyenas didn't run down animals and eat them. They all loved each other. The white man came there, and then you had the carnivores all of a sudden. The white man is who extinct the dinosaurs. When white man came out to hit the caves and hills of Europe, the dinosaurs fled and moved to Mars. Like, you might as well just keep lying, bro. Now, this is for you. This is for V4. This is the slave trade that had Lex
In East Africa, the arrows have
crashed out yesterday. All right, now V4, I'm glad you're here. So let me know when you're ready, and if not, I'll just do a video real fast, and then because I want your critique on it. I want your assessment on this. So I mean, you gotta eat. Don't rush, because I got other stuff to play. I got hella tabs here. I'm always prepared for like an emergency. I get a phone call. I just play some stuff. So when you're ready, just let me know. Let me finish playing this right here, though.
African stuff. It emphasized absolute global unity among Black people. And in order to achieve this, the continent was framed not as a place of 54 distinct nations with complex geopolitical interests, but they framed it as a single harmonious motherland, which wasn't the case. Can we be real? It just wasn't the case. So we were taught to have this noble ancestor trope. We had to use this romantic lens of modern Africans and view them as strictly the descendants of an uncorrupted royalty or innocent victims of colonialism, rather than them being multifaceted people with the capacity for good and bad, evil and harm, good and harm. And people started to frame Africa like a biblical promised land, a place where ultimate belonging is going to happen. The diaspora will one day return, welcome with open arms, free of alienation and all that shit. Again, that Pan-Africanism turned Africa into a damn de facto heaven. It's like, oh, we're going to go back one day and, oh, we're going to go back to our throne. And you start treating the African people as like infallible angels. If Africa is heaven, the people are angels. You understand? So we ignore the flaws, the prejudices, the capacity for exploitation, and we create this two-dimensional, idealized caricature of these innocent, noble people just walking around. They're just victims of colonialism, and they're just waiting on their brothers. We want our brothers to come home. Come home, my brothers. I miss you so. The white man stole you away long ago. I could not go get you in a boat. I've been waiting for so long. Come home, my brother. So we created that.
No.
You understand? We created that bullshit. And you go over there like, give me $20, nigga. It's like, oh, hold on. Now it's a bunch of musty niggas begging. Hold on. What kind of, this ain't heaven? This is a musty hell. What is this? I need money, nigga. Okay, yeah. Come on now. I'm not beating up on everybody, but we're gonna have to stop the bullshit. We're gonna have to stop the bullshit. You see, and we've given a lot of them a pass because there's been this fear of breaking ranks. There's like an unwritten rule within marginalized groups. You don't air dirty laundry in public, and criticizing any janky stuff coming from continental Africans, that's, oh, you're providing ammunition for the white supremacists. Oh, and there's this desire for unconditional kinship. As foundational Black Americans, we know how to have a kinship with each other here. So we think, okay, we can have a broader kinship with the people over there. You understand? And we don't want to accept the fact that a lot of them not only have prejudices against each other there, that's why there's so many tribal groups, some of those same prejudices are hitting us as well. You see? We got to understand that. And the thing is, if Africa is acknowledged as a flawed place with people who can be hostile and exploitive, that psychological escape route from American racism is compromised. See, this is why we understand this delineation movement that we're having now. That erases that, because we understand this is our homeland here. We have phenomenal people here. We have our great ancestors who stood on business and fought for us to live a comfortable life here, and we're putting respect on it. So we don't need a psychological escape route. You can go down south and go look at your family's grave and give respect and honor to them and see all the phenomenal things that they've done for us here. Our ancestors built HBCUs for us. Our ancestors had hundreds of thousands of patents that they've created in this country. Our ancestors created every music genre in this country. Our ancestors created all of the cuisine in American culture. They've already done phenomenal things here that we can respect. We don't have to skip over them, and we're not going to skip over these phenomenal people, because we're trained to skip over them and look at some ancient kingdom in Africa that's supposed to be Wakanda and Zamunda and all that shit. That's why every time they do movies about Africa, it's always something in somewhat of a fantasy realm. That plays on some of those old desires that we had. But the thing is, a lot of us start going over there and seeing what the real deal is. Not to crap on the people, but we see what the real deal is, and then we see how certain people act when they get here. Everybody ain't on code. Everybody's not on some utopia. We all need to get together. We see that there's a lot of people out for themselves. And when we be honest, it's always been like that, because they have not gotten on code over there.
Hey, we got a guest on the line. Guest. You just chimed in. What's up?
Yeah, what's up? I wanted to chop it up for a couple of minutes. You left a comment and you said you wanted to chop it up for a couple of minutes, so we can chop it up for a couple of minutes if you want. About whatever, 15 minutes in bounds. So
Okay.
what you got for 15 minutes?
All right, I'll tell you what I got. I got some receipts. You mind speaking to some receipts, some stuff you said before?
Yeah, go ahead, bro. Do your thing.
Okay. All right. So yeah, I'm the receipt guy. All right. So today's receipt day. So you look, I didn't think you'd call in. This is unexpected. So, but
I can call another time, bro. I was
No. This is perfect. This is receipt day. You actually called in on the right time. This is the best time to call in.
Okay. What's up, Ron? I mean, what's up? You got 4 Vengeance in the house, right?
Yeah.
What's up, 4 Vengeance?
I think he's asleep.
Yeah, I heard him snoring.
All right. So I'm gonna give you let's tackle what you said before. You don't mind doing that, do you?
Yeah. Go ahead,
Okay.
bro. I have no
I
idea
know
what
me. I know me. Yeah, it don't matter. I'm saying anybody can clip me and say, "Hey, you said this," and I'm gonna own up to whatever I said. Let's see if you own up to what you said prior. Watch this.
People who descend from American shadow slaves. But again, many of us don't want to be American. Bruh. You want to be black. Okay, then you're not American.
Do you believe that?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you?
Absolutely.
Okay.
If you're black, you're not American. You're black. That's your noun.
Explain. That's our noun?
Yeah,
What
black
does
is
that
a
mean?
noun. Black is a, when you say black
is a-
American
black's
foundation.
an adjective.
So you're using black as an adjective, right?
No. You said just now. I'm trying to follow you because you said if you're black, you're not American. So I'm trying. You said black is a noun.
Yes.
I'm like, well, technically, black is a color. That's a adjective. But if you're saying how we use it as an ethnonym, is what you're saying, right?
Yes.
How we use it
As an ethnonym.
No, we don't. Yeah, but we don't use it as a noun though.
Okay, ethnonym. Same. It's the same thing. You're still not American.
No, but you do. Well, no. You want to know how we use it?
You just said as an ethnonym. Am I correct?
Right, but
yeah, you're not American. You're black. Same thing. Hold on.
Slow down. I want to correct you. We don't use it as a noun. We use it as a proper noun. A cat is a noun, but the word cat don't need to be capitalized. Okay, a proper noun needs to be capitalized. Like Haitian is a proper noun. All proper nouns, you have to capitalize them. Not all nouns require capitalization. So I want to help you when you're in my lane talking about language. Right now, explain. Now, go ahead and explain. I ain't gonna cut you off. Explain how if we're black, we're not American. Go ahead.
Well, yeah. Well, here's the thing: capital black, capital B, black. Right. Well, who's included in that? Africans and Caribbeans and Afro-Latinos are also capital B black. You're not American. No matter how you slice it, you're not American. And the capital B stands for not only you, but for Africans, Caribbeans, and Latinos. That's just
how.
Oh, easy. If you look up, as a matter of fact, the AP News, they say we capitalize black for it's a racial category and anything else like that. So black, according to the AP News, they say we capitalize black for race and whatever you want to add. So they say African, Caribbean, Afro-Latinos, along with UFBAs, you all get a capital B black, according to the AP News. So you're not American, you're black.
Okay, I got you. Now, family, did he make any sense? I let him go. I didn't interrupt him. I didn't mute him. Did he make, press 2 if he made any sense to you? Now, you said we already got our noun, so we're not American, right?
Yeah, your ethnonym is black. That means by definition, you're not American. You're black.
Okay, watch this. So Italian Americans. Now we already talked about this. I got you on record. I got a whole video right here for you. So you can't lie. I got you on record. I was waiting for you to call in, by the way. You fell for the trap. You fell for the bait. Now, Italians, you already said Italian is their ethnicity. That's their ethnonym. You already said that, right? I can play it again for you.
Yeah, they're ethnic Italians. I agree. Yeah, they're ethnic
right.
Italians.
Okay, but you also acknowledge them as Italian Americans, right?
Yes, that's what.
Okay.
An ethnic.
Right. So now the American. Now watch this, family. He likes to define words by our government, and then pick and choose. Now I got you, because we're going to define nationality by our government too. Now, American. When we say you say if we are black, we're not American because black is our ethnicity. Right? It is. Black is our ethnicity. And American is our nationality. Now, since you want to use our government definitions, my guy, how does the government define nationality? Wait, not real simple. Do our American government define American as a nationality?
No, officially, no. If you're talking about everyday conversation, yes, but officially, no. So there's a difference. So everyday conversation.
Cool. Wait. All right. You're saying that, but I'm gonna pull it right now. So now, when it says what it says, they don't say that dumb shit. Will you just say you were wrong? If it just says it's a nationality, it don't give it no contingencies, no caveats, nuances. If it just clearly say it's a nationality, are we done with that conversation? Or are you gonna make up something else?
No, because there's two usages.
Which no.
Okay.
Listen what I'm saying. Listen what I'm saying. You're saying that, but if the research don't say that, will you say you're wrong?
No, because I know I'm correct because I have the documents.
Okay,
I have the documents.
All right. So next. So family, what I don't do is entertain conversations where they can't be wrong. Like he won't hold himself to be wrong. He said our government. He goes by the government definitions. I'm going by it now. I'm going to a government website, and he's telling me that don't matter now. So I got you on record, pick and choosing. We're good.
Hey, Ron, listen to me. Let me reply.
No.
So you don't want me to reply.
You did.
No, let me reply.
I know. I'm moving on because you don't accept reproof. You don't.
I got you.
Hey, dude. I'm because you got to stop doing that, my guy. Yeah, I said I'm moving on. What I try to hold you somewhere.
Move on,
You
bro. I got you.
Yeah. You became an ill. You don't want to be held anywhere. You said you're gonna be real squeaky and oily and move on. So yeah, family. The government defines. Everybody can Google this. The government defines American as a nationality. I already showed them this last live. All right, so let's play his words. So now we know we're black as an ethnicity, and we're American as a nationality. Like an Italian person is Italian by ethnicity and American by nationality. Anybody can have the American tied to them once they get citizenship. Citizenship is first, and then nationality is there. It's almost at the same time. It's the same thing though. You get if you get American citizenship, then your nationality is American. That's a fact. All right, let's play more of your words.
If you say your ethnicity is black, whether black American,
straight
straight up
debunked
black
that.
American, you're black.
No, you did. You're absolutely wrong, but continue on.
Scottish American, they got Scotland. German America, they got Germany. Jamaican America, they got Jamaica. Haitian America, they got Haiti. Black American, you got nothing. There's no nation on earth called black. There, you become.
Do you still believe that?
Yeah, you actually explained it. Nationality, according to you, means citizenship. You're not American. You're a citizen of America. You everything you said, you're agreeing with me. You're not American. You're a citizen of America. You even said it a second ago. Nationality, citizenship.
Hey, bro.
That means you're not American.
Bro, American is your nationality.
Okay, if that's true, look at your passport. Everybody pull out your passport.
You got you. Now let's get. That's crazy because we're going there next. Hey, bro, your passport is going to say what? Because you're on record. Your next words are going to go there. But you got ahead of me. Okay, so your passport is going to say what?
United States of America. It does not say America.
Right. So now, what does American, that word American, what does American got to do with United States of America? How are they related? Do you know?
Say what again?
How is the United States of America and American, how are they related?
They're not related. Your nationality on your passport says United States of America. You are a citizen of the United States of America. That's what nationality is.
Got it. Do you know what a demonym is?
Yeah, that's like a nickname.
Okay. Explain.
Yeah, it's like a nickname.
Okay.
It's not your legal name. Like if somebody.
Wait. Do. Okay, I got it. Since you won't do it, I'll do it. Family, a demonym is a real word. Almost every nation have one. So Nigeria has a demonym. Canada, like almost every nation has a demonym. It's a shortened way to call yourself. So you are a citizen of the United States of America, but that long old word, our government, again, we're going by government definitions. I don't let people hold a standard and then break it. We're going by government definitions. Government definitions is that we have demonyms to replace that whole long word. They're not going to say, hey, I'm a citizen of the United States of America. We're allowed to just say we're American. That's a demonym. Now, I'm going to show you, which I've done before. See, these guys sound smart on the internet, but when it comes to language, grammar, they're not on my level at all. They learned from me. He didn't know what nothing was until he came over here. Hey, my guy, did you know what an ethnonym was before you came over here?
Bro, my point is this. When you
No, dude. No
You're
point.
not American.
Okay. You already said that. You said that over and over and over, and you sound crazy.
Haven't made your.
Okay. Hey, bro, I'm asking you a question. Did you learn the word ethnonym from over here or no?
No. But
okay,
go
got
ahead.
You. Oh, no. Hold on. Got you. So that word you knew already, right?
Yeah, well, what you don't understand, there's many meanings to ethnicity.
Bro, I'm just asking you about a word. You said you learned that somewhere else, right? Before here. Yes or no? We ask straight questions and the guy just rambles. Dude.
I said yes.
Okay. Wait, yes to what?
That I knew it before I even came over to your channel.
Got it. So what's the exonym and the endonym?
Exonym is the name that's given outside of you. That's what exonym is, right?
Right.
Outside, right?
Right. And endonym is what?
name given inside.
Okay, and what is an ethnonym?
It's just a name of a group.
Break it down. Break down ethnonym.
No, that's just what it is, bro.
Nah,
Go ahead.
break down. Okay, okay. Why is exonym the name of outsiders?
Because
break down.
that's you asked before the meaning. Exonyms means outside. Endonym means inside. It's in the name. Outside. Okay. Endonym inside.
A family.
Denonym is just like a nickname.
A family. This lying piece of shit learned all of this from me.
I didn't learn that, and don't call me a lying piece of shit.
Yeah. You're a lying piece of shit who's a clout chaser.
You're a lying piece of shit.
All right. So now let me finish. Dude. No,
don't disrespect me, you lying piece of shit.
You're a lying piece of shit, my guy. You and Revenue, all those guys are all together. He's clicked in with Revenue. They're on their channel trying to think tank how to debate me and come against me. They all learned those words, and we could get Revenue over here. He'll tell you. They all learned those words from me. They were not using those words at all. He didn't know what a demonym was, because you heard what we just said right now. Hey, the United States of America is on your passport. America is not that. See, that's fake. It's made up. It's a demonym, stupid. So I'm gonna go into what a demonym is. This is stuff people learn from me. Only he's lying. Most of my chat have not came across ethnonym, exonym, all that stuff without me. Dude's a piece of shit lie. He don't study language. All right, so I got him in the waiting room. Because now you're lying. See, I don't mind having a conversation, but when you start lying, he can't show no videos of him saying those words before me, before I said on my video, on my live. Just a liar. All right. Anyway, let's go into it. All right, family. Let this guy come over here live. All right. So I'm gonna invite the liar back on here. He's a liar. He left like a coward. He left like a coward. American. Anybody can Google it. It's your nationality. The United States of America is your nationality. You're a citizen to both. Matter of fact, I'll better do this. Once you become a citizen, how about this, family? This is an easier way to understand it. Once you become a citizen of the United States of America, you are now an American. There you go. American is the noun of the action you just did. Once you become a citizen of the United States of America, you are now an American. All right. Here you go. A demonym is the specific noun or adjective used to describe natives or residents of a place. Londoner, Canadian. Nationality refers to the legal status of belonging to a specific nation, often expressed using a demonym. One more time. A nationality, United States of America, refers to the legal status of belonging to a specific nation and is often expressed using a demonym. Essentially, a demonym is the word for the people, while nationality is the status. Again, once you get citizenship in America, that's your status. And the word for that status is your demonym. American. He sounded stupid trying to be smart amongst us. Let's go deeper. Definitions. Demonyms. From Greek. Demos, people. Onuma, name. People's name. Are naming conventions for residents. Nationality is the legal or political connection to a state. Scope. Demonyms can apply to cities, states, or regions, right? New Yorker, Bavarian. While nationality usually refers to specifically to a sovereign country. Uses demonyms often in, en, east, or er. Brazilian, Japanese, Berliner, and American. Place, Japan, demonym, Japanese, nationality, Japan. Place, Philippines, demonym, Filipino, Filipina, nationality, Filipino, Filipina. Place, London, demonym, Londoner. Okay, so that's it. So demonyms are the name of your status. Go over here, and then we got it. Look, key takeaways. A demonym is a name used for people from a certain country or place. All this damn stuff popping up. Demonyms usually end with an EAN, IAN, or ESE to show where people come from. Demonyms are different from ethonyms, which describe people of an ethnic group, not where they live. However, if you ever wonder what to call someone from a different country, most people have at one point or another. The truth is, many nationality labels are formed by simply combining the full or partial name of a country with the suffix. See, you combine the country with the suffix. These are demonyms. These are language. These are terms you only heard from me. So these are the demonym names of your nationality, the names of nationality. That's what demonyms are. You don't call yourself, hey, I'm a United States of America. No, you just say American. That's it. I'm Italian, United States of America. No, that's your status. Now you become an American. So this is what happens when you try to debate people who actually teach. I'm the only person in these spaces who actually get paid for teaching. Everybody claiming they're a teacher, nobody get paid for it. All right. So now let's end the night. So I got him out of here. I wanted him so badly to come on. He came on. Great. Cooked him. All right. Didn't even get through his video before he started lying. Don't know what a demonym is. Hey, man, I throw out the bait. I go fishing in these YouTube streets. I throw out the bait. I say certain words. I don't really go all the way in. I give them the bite. I reel them more here. Then I go all the way in. Dude is retarded. Now, anybody who believe Dr. John Clark is a respectable scholar, things like that, click the link. Let me hear why you still believe that. Just give you a little pushback, and that's it. Anybody believe Marcus Garvey was a great man for Black America? Let me put the link out there. Small dialogue, a little pushback, and you could just go. You dig? You ain't got to stay all night. Okay, we got some Black, African, and African Americans are all different. Not all melanated people are so-called indigenous to now called America. Let me just try to see what y'all saying out here in these streets. We aren't truly black. Black is our demonym, like he was saying. We are American. We choose to call oneself black because of history. Yeah, exactly. This guy, he thought because we say we black, this is how weird he is. Because he teaches. I didn't get it out of him because he hung up already. But family, he got ADHD on another level. The dude can't stay calm. No interaction he ever had with me, he could stay calm. He's always hyper when he just want to talk his information and hang up. That's what a lot of these guys, that's what Jamaican Dream used to do. Come on here to promote. When you see like a nice crowd, they'll call in to promote their channel and try to get off. Like they don't care for like a serious dialogue. They just want to promote their bullshit channel, which, we're on code. We don't go to tether channels, my guy. To do what? Laugh? Yeah. So anybody who believes that John Clark is a good historian, click that link. If anybody believes Marcus Garvey was great for Black America, click the link. Okay, because the poll suggests people think so.
In East Africa, the Arabs have already disgraced Islam.
Well, you know what? Since Lex is not on here, it don't make sense to play this whole video, the full context. Because that was for him. I ain't gonna play this whole 10-minute video. He ain't here. So for the people who are here, I'm just gonna play from where I played before. When he called in, then I'll play the whole 10 minutes.
Whether the Africans had slavery before the Europeans. In the European sense, no. Servitude is not slavery. They had worse servitude here in the United States, whites against whites. Anytime the Africans in wars or difficulties would capture other African groups, these groups would have to work.
So now notice he said capture each other. He didn't say stealing, stole, kidnapping, took, taken. He didn't use these weird modern Pan-African terminology words, right? He stuck to academia, capture, slave raids.
Work their way out of indenture. The Africans had no big ships to take from Africans down the coast. So we knew a king further down.
Hey, by the way, nobody argues Africans had big ships. That's stupid. Of course they wouldn't. They're the ones selling the people. The people who's buying the people, transporting would have the ships. Yeah, so why would Africa supply the ships? Just like the castles, like white folks set up the forts. Why would Africans set the forts up? Like, nah, we're good. We already got homes. You got to figure out a way to like keep these people we're selling you until you get your ships over here. We're not supplying that. You got to figure that out. Right. So there's some things that, so Africans just supply. That's all. Hey, we'll go kidnap them. We'll go steal them. We'll go take them and we'll bring them to you. And you do what you want to do with them after that. That's on you. But give us our money and how you protect them and house them, all that type of stuff, that's on you. We're going to go do the dirty work. We're going to kidnap them like you're going fishing, somewhere. We're going to throw a net on a bunch of people walking from a tree, and we're going to bring them to you at the coast, the shore, right? At the dock. And what you want to do with them from there, that's all on you.
Who needed some labor. Now that the Portuguese are there, he hired some of the Portuguese to take these Africans from one part of Africa and another. Now the European is interpreting this as meaning the African was in the slave trade.
Listen.
The African was not in the slave trade, and the African was not in the slave trade, and
No. Oh my God!
So you're great.
People beat you over the head with nonsense.
So y'all great historian just said Africans played no role in the slave trade. So this goes back to the top of the conversation right around here.
Your girl, Joy Reid, who was Congolese. Yeah, is she Congolese and Ugandan? She's mixed with a couple of things from what I understand. So she was on that show, 154 Africa. She was on there. They had her on there. And they were talking about the topic of Africans selling black people in Africa. And notice whenever that topic comes up, there's a lot of splaining. Congo and Guyana. Got it. Okay. Yeah, they do this whole thing. I want y'all to hear the explanation. We're going to have to get real. Can we get real tonight? We're going to have to talk real because, I'm tired of all of this splaining and, we didn't know that. Man, okay, listen to her explanation, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to how she described what happened in Africa as far as Africans selling people. Fair use. Hold on.
16th century, and they're all false. They're not real, but they took away the thing that most humans organize themselves by, which is tribe. And that is gone in America. You're just white or you're black. And black American culture is, again, it's the most dominant culture that's ever.
Yeah, because we're not tribal. Foundational black American culture is dominant because we're not tribal. That's what makes us phenomenal.
Existed. It created rock and roll, soul music, country music, half the food we eat, most of what we do in this country that makes us American is black people created it. And so I think when our people come from other countries, they need to give that some respect. They need to treat that with respect. But also, I wish American blacks could get the chance to learn what colonialism did to Africa. Because it's not like African people didn't suffer. And I think there's a sense that African people sold us away and forgot about it.
Yeah, that's kind of what happened. Yeah, the tree of forgetfulness. Yeah, they literally made some of us walk around the tree of forgetfulness to forget what happened. Okay, yeah.
us, but they forget those people were destroyed. As Michael Harriot said when we had him on for our Black History special, if Black people were selling other Black people, why did you need a fort? If this was a transaction that was mutual and the kings of Africa were just selling off Black, well, then why did you need to build giant forts? You built giant forts because you were having wars with those kings who you were stealing their people. You wouldn't need a fort if you were selling and buying.
And that's something that people, that's the information that gets passed out.
Okay.
You are deceiving people.
Okay. Yeah, that right there, I'm like, hold on. What?
Okay, now let me tell you the root of that. She got it from this stupid historian right here. Listen.
Now that the Portuguese are there, he hired some of the Portuguese to take these Africans from one part of Africa and another. Now the European is interpreting this as meaning the African was in the slave trade. The African was not in the slave trade, and the African was not in the slave trade.
So she got it from this fake historian right here. Everybody who's repeating after this clown, they're getting it from this weirdo. Okay, all these weird talking points from Pan-Africans. Now we got their source. They're getting it from their weird historian. This glazer right here. Okay, Africans were not in the slave trade. Your historian, he said that.
What kind of bullshit ass family? Hold on, let me get my phone in my mouth. What kind of bullshit excuse is that? Why did they build forts? Huh? No. See, family, history is important, ladies and gentlemen. History is important. Oh, we're not going to let people rewrite history now. See, now people want to try to rewrite history. We're not going to do that. Let's tell the truth. Can we tell the truth, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, can we tell the truth about these forts? Listen, those forts over there, they didn't force those forts. They sat there. It took them decades to build some of them damn forts. It wasn't like they just sprung up overnight and shot. Ooh, what is this sheet? A fort? No, they were complicit with it. No, they were complicit with those forts getting built over there. They didn't build them shits overnight. Come on now, man, come on, let's tell the truth. She's making it seem like they built the forts against the will of the people and they were going to war with the African tribes. The European powers were going to war with the African tribes. How many of y'all been to some of them forts over there? Let me talk to the family real quick. How many of you guys went to Elmina Castle, Cape Coast Castle, Goree Island Castle? I was just in Goree Island a couple of months ago. Y'all been there? Y'all notice the cannons there. Some of those, well, damn near all of them, they have cannons at those forts. The cannons are facing outward to the sea. The cannons are not faced inward to the African tribes and the African nation. All right? The cannons are faced towards the sea. They got heavy artillery pointed outward towards the Atlantic Ocean, and that's to defend against rival European naval powers. The Dutch, the British, the French, all that. They fought each other over who's going to go over there and reap the benefits of people selling, folks.
Yeah!
All the cannons weren't inland. Understand, they had land leases. The European powers would pay tributes to some of those African chiefs. You understand? They had to pay rent. Those European trading companies, they had to negotiate leases with these African rulers over there. They had to pay rent and customs, tax, tribute for the right to remain over there and conduct business on African soil. Yo, come on now. No, we're not going to have people rewrite no damn history. Oh, we're not going to rewrite history. Also, the inland part of the interior of Africa, the white tea supremacists couldn't go in there. They called that the white man's grave. See, before they could use quinine and all that stuff in the 19th century to treat malaria, the white supremacists would go up there and try to go into the interior of Africa, and they would just, croak. They'd become unalive just because of the diseases and all that stuff. They didn't have an immunity to go up in there like that. So they lacked the biological immunity to go inside the interior of Africa to get people and march them to the coast. So yeah, those were other tribes over there getting people from the interior, getting people from different places, bringing them to the coast. And a lot of those kingdoms over there, the Dahomey, Oyo, Ashanti Empire, the slave trade was highly regulated by them. European merchants, they weren't allowed to kidnap local people. Do you know that? Let's be real. Some of those African kingdoms would not allow the Europeans to go kidnap folks. They were like, no. If you want them, you got to go through me. You got to pay me first. Don't go get them by your damn self. No, don't you dare go get them. You got to go through me to give me my money first. Then I'll give them to you. Let's tell the real deal about this stuff. They're not going to sit here, oh, y'all don't know this stuff. No. They're not going to sit here and act like, oh, they stole my brother. They stole my brother. No. We're not doing that. Oh, they were regulating the hell out of that. They would not allow a lot of them Europeans to go in there and get people by themselves.
And you're not in the slave trade. The African was not in the slave trade. And you
There you go. The gift from this guy, Suburban Swerving. What's up? You there? You still there?
Can you hear me? Yeah, I'm here.
Oh yeah, I hear you now. Yeah.
My man, what's up, Ron?
Man, not much. Just showing receipts.
Man, so check it. The first time I saw this video was a while ago, but I didn't catch half of it. But what I did catch back then, and even so more now, I caught where he talks about them not having no ships.
Right.
That's a major contradiction to their teaching in itself. Because we've been told that Africans had boats anciently.
Right.
And they traveled.
Now they ain't got them.
Now they ain't got no boats. Now they gotta call. Now you gotta call the Portuguese.
The Uber, the ancient Uber guy. Yeah, the Uber. The Portuguese were the first Uber.
But you had the ability to get in that boat and come all the way to a new hemisphere.
Damn.
So which one is it?
Yeah, that's gonna hurt.
It can't be both.
That's gonna hurt. Maybe their ship had the Garvey issue. They called the European.
The Uber. I don't know, but see, that's a problem. That's a problem because Dr. Ben would say the Nile Valley civilization flourished because of the river, and they were able to transport things up and down the river.
Mm.
And they wear their hats saying that you can see the progression of the Nile Valley from the Sudan all the way up to Egypt, right? Because you see the technology get better. But it was along the Nile Valley where they set up these civilizations, and they got more and more advanced as they went up the way. Well, that means that they were in boats, and that means that they were a boating civilization. They were a river civilization.
Hmm.
At least in that part of Africa. But why wouldn't they be the same thing if they were living on the coast?
Yeah.
Bro, you pulling some shit out. That's
why we want and look, that's why I want these people to call in to speak to that. Like, hey man, like which is it? Ben saying one thing, Clark saying another thing, and one of these clowns are wrong, and largely both wrong because they both are Pan-Africans. Pan-Africans are liars. They're going to revise history to make their narrative look stronger than what it is. They don't want to seem weak. They don't want to seem weak. They want to lie and promote Pan-Africanism over Americanism. Then you got people who do the opposite.
Yeah, and Ron, they're calling themselves Pan. That's a problem in itself. You always you hate the white T man and all this kind of shit. But
selectively, yeah.
But you use a Greek homosexual goat god as a representation of your title.
Yeah,
but they know that though. You guys are supposed to be so smart, but you still using this. You argue etymology and all this shit on everything else, but not with that.
Right. Yeah, that's why I said selectively they're smart. They'll pick and choose when they're brilliant, then they'll pick and choose when they're idiots.
Yeah, man. I mean, I used to like Dr. Andrew Clark, but as of lately, I don't know. You've been showing me some shit, man, and I've been.
Yeah, like for me, it's real easy. You're a liar. I can't rock with you. See, I have a standard. That everybody got to fit. Like my standard is, what's that thing? What's that show in New York? They be singing and they be all right.
Oh,
the Apollo. Yeah, the Apollo. Yeah, you see how they put the little thing over your head and they cheer. Like that's my standard for everybody. You see how they put over everybody's head and the crowd got to cheer for everybody, or that you got losers. That's how I do it. Real people when it comes to scholarship, like and teachers. I hold people like that to the highest standard because you have the ear of the masses. So you're wrong. Okay, we got to look at that. When you're always wrong, there's a problem. And now we got to speculate. Agenda, agent, all this, all because you're always wrong. You could have solved that just not being always wrong. But something's up. Why are you always wrong? And look what you're wrong about. You're like selling out the lineage. Like you're creating a day like today where an African country can say, hey, I want reparations on behalf of the slave trade because those people who were sold were slaves. The people who were bought were slaves. They went to a country that did enslavement over there, and then they were freed, and they were free slaves, but they're still Africans, and therefore send the check over here. Cut the check and mail it to Ghana.
Yeah, that's wild.
But guys like this right here, guys like him made that possible.
And this motherfuckers too, like I was on the book earlier, bro, and these people really like, oh, you see what happened? You see what the United States did? And I'm thinking to myself, like, man, that was a good thing, you dummy. You know what I'm saying? Like they didn't fall for the bait.
Right. Yeah.
Whereas, normally they would have said, yeah, go ahead and go for it, so that we can get fucked over. But they actually do something in your favor, and you so blinded by this fake loyalty that you don't even really realize what the hell just went on.
Yeah, so a Pan-African would try to put us in a lose-lose situation. Because had they voted yes, then they just voted to the stupid shit. Africans representing us on behalf of what they were responsible for, which would be stupid. Then if they don't vote, stay out of it, then, they'll say, hey, look, they didn't even vote. Gaslighting. It's like, why would they vote? Why would they take seriously something like this by an African nation? And the ones who sold us out of all of them, why would they do that? Why would they not consult with the people, the harmed, group?
Yeah,
the student doesn't make sense, and it's just gaslighting. They trying to get us to react and behave a certain way online to condemn us.
Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely, man. All right, Ron, I'm out your head. Keep cooking, man.
All right, yes, sir. I ain't gonna be cooking for too much longer. I think I made the point. I had a brother call up who I wanted to cook with the receipts, and he called up like an asshole. And I got him. It didn't even last long. The guy said, "We're blacks. We're not American because That's the noun already. I said, what's the noun? Now I'm being funny, family. I know what I'm saying, but I'm trying to get him to be like, to go further, right? But he didn't get it. So that's why I just voluntarily said, bro, it's not any old noun. A cat's a goddamn baseball bat is a noun. Okay, where black is a proper noun. Okay, all
Yo,
proper nouns gotta be capitalized.
I just peeped. You got the damn Pinocchio nose.
Oh yeah. This guy's a piece of shit lying ass historian.
I'm through, Ryan. I'm out of here, man.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit lying ass historian. And for me, the standard is real simple. You're a liar, you're a liar. I can't rock you. I can't love you. You're a liar. Okay. That it's real. Like I said, for me, I don't have those issues in life. Oh, wow, this person's a liar, but I like him. The other person a liar. I don't like them. You know, what should I do? I don't have that. You're a liar, you're out. You're a truth teller, you're in. Real simple for me. It's black and white. It saves the time. Like, and guess what? I'm known, my family knows that, my friends know that. I'm just like this in real life. If I think you're lying, I'm gonna go crazy on you. I'm gonna crash out on you if I think you're lying. So exactly how my rules right now online are the rules in real life too. I cannot respect a liar. Just can't be around a liar, can't hang around a liar. And if you're a historian and you're wrong, you have to acknowledge that and make right that wrong. You gotta do that. Okay, so nobody wants to, John Henry Clark and Marcus Garvey got some support in the chat poll, but they didn't want to really talk about it. And that's unfortunate. All right, family. That's it for tonight. We will tap back in tomorrow. We'll see. We got topics. We got topics for days. Okay. Yeah, so have a great night. I appreciate all of you. Make sure you like the button on your way out. Make sure you subscribe if you're new. You can definitely support the channel. But matter of fact, let me read the super chats because people were super chat. Hold on. They go to cash chat. Let me get this super chat. So we got Cristal. Good evening. $20 super chat. Thank you very much. We got Bebe, $5 super chat. Matter of fact, let me put it on the screen so everybody can see. Here you go. So we got Cristal right there, $20 super chat. We got Bebe, $5 super chat. FBAs need to start a change.org petition for reparations from African states connected to historical slave trading system. That's a good idea. Then we got Slick Bay. He's always contributed to the channel. Regular donor. He says, apply that pressure, Ron. Yeah, I'm not. You say I don't let nobody, and I don't mind if y'all get me. I can take it, and I can admit when I'm wrong. I'll say, yeah, I'm wrong, like I did yesterday. At FBA Chosen by God says, $10 super chat. She says, Africans are incompetent and master deceivers, and all they do for FBAs is cut their part of the check. Right. I agree 100%. Master deceivers, incompetent, liars, disingenuous. And that's why Professor Small said this about them. And I agree. Hold on. This is what Professor James Small said about him. And he is big into Africa. Hold on.
So you've got a deaf, blind, dumb, backwards person speaking an African language, coming from the African country, came here to be a parasite.
Here you go. That is John Henry Clark speaking. This guy right here, Professor James Small speaking. This guy right here is a shitty historian, John Henry Clark. I exposed him today, and I got more. I had another video, but I will wait till next day for that one. Yeah, like, subscribe. Thanks for the super chats. You can cash app $ unbiased Ron is the cash app. You dig? And with that, I could leave you guys with the Cash App song.
We have to start supporting ourselves. We have to add value to our content and our voices.
Hey, hey, haters gone, hate supporters done it. Haters gone, hate supporters done it. Support me your own, don't support one of them clones. I'm really one of them ones, I'm really in my they done. Cash App, $sign on box rhyme. Hey, 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 hey. Haters gone, hate supporters done it. Hey, 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 hey. Haters gone, hate supporters done it. Support me your own, don't support one of them clones. I'm really one of them ones, I'm really in my they done. Cash App, $sign on box rhyme. I'm really real one of them. I'm really him, I'm really out here standing on 10. Like and subscribe, thumbs up the video. I'm really real one of them. I'm really him, I'm really out here standing on 10. Like and subscribe, thumbs up the video. Haters gone, hate supporters done it. Haters gone, hate supporters done it. Support me your own, don't support one of them clones. I'm really one of them ones, I'm really in my they down. Cash App, $sign on box rhyme. Haters gone, hate supporters done it. Haters gone, hate supporters done it. Support me your own, don't support one of them clones. I'm really one of them ones, I'm really in my they down. Cash App, $sign on box rhyme. I'm really one of them. I'm really him, I'm really out here standing on 10. Like and subscribe, thumbs up the video. Okay! I'm really one of them. I'm really him, I'm really out here standing on 10. Like and subscribe, thumbs up the video. Haters gone, hate supporters done it. Haters gone, hate supporters done it. Support me your own, don't support one of them clones. I'm really one of them ones, I'm really in my they dumb. Cash App, $sign on box rhyme. Haters gone, hate supporters done it. Haters gone, hate supporters done it. Support me your own, don't support one of them clones. I'm really one of them ones, I'm really in my they dumb. Cash App, $sign on box rhyme. Please don't hate on it. Please support on it, on it. I'm really one of them ones, I'm really him, are they dumb? Cash App, $sign on box rhyme. Cash App, $sign on box rhyme. Cash App, $sign on box rhyme. I'm really real one of them ones, are they dumb? Thumbs up, subscribe, Cash App, $sign on box rhyme.